Chapter 2670 Counterattack Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron. Now that their strength had skyrocketed, it was time for them to settle the score. Lu Ming hoped that the young man in luxurious clothes and the rest were still up there. However, the gravity in this abyss was very strong. They couldn't fly up directly, so they could only climb up along the wall. Above the abyss, the young man in luxurious clothes, the young man with the big bow, and the others were still waiting. It's been so many days, but I haven't seen them come up. I guess they're dead down there. Someone sneered. This abyss feels extremely evil and dangerous. I think they've all died down there. Let's go. Another person said. Time was precious. They could only stay in the forest for 3 months. Now, they had been waiting here for more than 20 days, and their hearts were bleeding. I can't afford to waste it. Wait for 3 more days. If they still haven't come out after 3 days, well, leave. The young man in luxurious clothes said. Guys, look, there's someone there. Suddenly, someone shouted and pointed to the edge of the abyss. Everyone looked over and saw a few people climbing up from the edge of the abyss. They were Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Xian Yanjuan. It's that brat. They're still alive. The eyes of the young man with the bow turned cold. I didn't die, but am dead now. The young man in luxurious clothes said coldly. His powerful and cold aura locked onto Lu Ming and the other two. They're still here, and the number of people has increased by quite a bit. Lu Ming's eyes swept across the area, cold, killing intent flickering in them. He pressed his arm down and jumped into the abyss. Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan emerged from the abyss and stood beside Lu Ming. Finally, you can't hold it in anymore. It's good that we didn't leave. Kid, this is fate. You're destined to die. The young man in luxurious clothes said ferociously. A long sword appeared in his hand. It was extremely sharp. Divine power surged as he stepped toward Lu Ming. You're right. Fortunately, you didn't leave. Otherwise, I would have gone to find you. The corners of Lu Ming's lips curled up slightly. A long spear appeared in his hands. If you still want to resist, I'll kill you in 3 moves, die. The young man in luxurious clothes shouted coldly. His figure burst out, and the terrifying sword light was like a bolt of lightning, heading towards Lu Ming. Buzz. Lu Ming fired a shot. The moment he attacked, Lu Ming activated the double combat power of the battle formula. The long spear was like a furious dragon, bringing with it an endless gale that swept towards the young man in luxurious clothes. Boom! There was a terrifying explosion and the young man's sword radiance collapsed. Lu Ming's long spear struck the young man's long sword. The terrifying force bent his long sword and the violent force bombarded the young man's body. Kacha! The sound of bones breaking came from the young man's body. Half of his body exploded, and he was sent flying like a cannonball. He crashed into a 6th-level Void G.O.D. realm young man, who vomited blood and was sent flying with him. What? Everyone on the other side was dumbfounded. One move. In just one move, the young man in luxurious clothes was defeated and seriously injured. How was that possible? More than 20 days ago, many people had fought with Lu Ming. Lu Ming was not that powerful? Especially the young man with the big bow, he was so scared that he almost died. He felt it the most. When he first came to the forest and attacked Lu Ming's ability was far from being that strong. He was not his match at all. In the end, Lu Ming managed to escape the first time. The second time they met, Lu Ming's abilities had increased by a huge margin. Now, Lu Ming's abilities had increased by a huge margin. Such an improvement speed was too shocking. Kill! After severely injuring the young man in luxurious clothes with one move, Lu Ming let out a long howl. He became one with the spear and charged at his opponent like a bolt of lightning. At the same time, Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan also attacked each other. Boom! Lu Ming swept his spear. The terrifying spear ray was like a mountain range, pressing down on the few young men. Bang! Bang! Some of the young men were at 5th level and 6th level Void G.D. realm. They were whipped by Lu Ming and exploded in the air. Their flesh, blood, and bones flew everywhere. The scene was extremely terrifying. Join hands, Join hands and kill him." The young man with the bow shouted. There were around 30 of them, and more than 10 of them were at the 7th level of the Void G.O.D realm. At this moment, a few Nihility G.O.D Stage 7 cultivators charged towards Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan. "Die!" Xian Yanjuan shouted coldly. His body was filled with holy light as he slashed out a sword of holy light with a mysterious trajectory. A 7th level Void G.O.D realm young man was killed by Xian Yanjuan without any resistance. At the same time, the other one, Xian Yanqing, had also killed a youth at the 7th level of the Void G.O.D realm. Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjin's cultivation had broken through 2 levels, reaching the 5th level of the Void G.O.D realm. The two of them didn't lack suitable divine skills, and their battle techniques were even more exquisite. As their cultivation base increased, their strength would also increase. If they were weak and had weak divine power, they would not be able to use many of their techniques. The stronger they were, the more techniques they would have. At this moment, it wasn't hard for them to kill a 7th level ethereal G.O.D realm heaven's favorite. To Lu Ming it was not difficult. When Lu Ming was at first stage virtual G.O.D realm, the activation of the battle formula doubled his combat strength and he was able to fight against a 7th stage virtual G.O.D. After that, he cultivated the Heaven and Earth Thousand Dao scripture and his use of ruler divine power became stronger. His cultivation had also reached the 2nd level of the ethereal G.O.D realm, so he could easily deal with those at the 7th level. Bush. In an instant, more than 10 attacks were aimed at Lu Ming. "My lord, die!" Lu Ming shouted and circulated his G.O.D's divine power. Instantly, when the attacks approached Lu Ming, they seemed to be controlled. They all deviated from their trajectories and rushed past Lu Ming. What? How did this happen? Chief Sovereign's divine power. The divine power. He controls Chief Sovereign's divine power. Someone shouted. Everyone was shocked. G.O.D's divine energy. Lu Ming had actually mastered G.O.D's divine energy. This was divine-grade divine energy. As far as they knew, no one in the younger generation of the Kongxian sect had mastered divine-grade divine power. Only the 3 overlord forces had peerless geniuses who could master divine-grade divine power. Monstrous, a peerless monstrous talent. Kill! Lu Ming would not let go of this opportunity. He thrust his long spear forward. In an instant, Lu Ming had killed 5 to 6 paragons with his spear. There was even a 7th level ethereal G.O.D realm heaven's favorite. Let's go quickly. We must report this news. This person controls divine-grade divine power. He will definitely become the saint's enemy in the future. We must let the saint know. The bow-wielding young man and the others wanted to retreat. Today, none of you shall think of leaving, Lu Ming said coldly. His killing intent surged like a tide, like a G.O.D of death, and he charged towards these people. At the same time, he also released Qiuqiu to restrain the enemy. Chapter 2671 Kill Them All. Lease reading Omicron N Novel Cool. Omicron M. Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan also began to kill mercilessly. The other party would find it difficult to withstand their attacks. One by one, they were killed and left here forever. Demons. You're all demons. You recklessly killed your fellow disciples. You've violated the sect rules. You'll be punished. The remaining people shouted. Lu Ming sneered. Previously, these people had threatened to kill them and Lu Ming and the rest had almost died at their hands. Now, he wanted to use the sect rules to pressure them. Where did the sect rules go when they were chasing after Lu Ming and the rest? What a joke! Bang! Lu Ming showed no mercy. He waved his long spear and sent a 7th level Void G.O.D realm expert flying. He was severely injured and on the verge of death. In the blink of an eye, there were only 6 or 7 people left from the 30-odd people. They were all at the 7th level of the Void G.O.D realm. Let's split up and escape. The young man with the big bow shouted in horror and shot an arrow at Lu Ming. An arrow was shot at Lu Ming but was flicked away by Lu Ming's spear. "Stay here!" Lu Ming shouted. At that moment, a powerful force suddenly burst out from his body. The battle formula tripled his combat power and was successfully triggered. This caused Lu Ming's abilities to soar again. Buzz! Lu Ming's figure burst out and thrust his spear. A 7th level Void G.O.D. realm youth was shocked and tried his best to block it. However, how could he block it? He was directly penetrated by Lu Ming's spear. Then, the spear trembled and the person was torn to pieces. Buzz! Lu Ming took advantage of the situation and killed another 7th level Void G.O.D. level youth. At the same time, Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan had killed another person each. The other party only had 3 people left. "Now, it's your turn." Lu Ming rapidly approached the young man with the large bow. The young man with the large bow was almost scared to death. He kept drawing the bow and shot arrows at Lu Ming, but they were easily deflected by Lu Ming. The next moment, Lu Ming threw the long spear. The level 9 low-grade divine artifact level spear turned into a bolt of lightning and pierced through the bow-wielding youth, nailing him to an ancient tree. The other party was not dead yet, and he let out a shrill scream. "Lu Ming, go ahead and kill him. The transient light holy sun will avenge me. Your strength is not worth mentioning in the eyes of the transient light holy sun. No, any expert from my transient light faction can kill you and your woman." The young man with the bow knew that he was going to die, so he cursed madly before he died. "If that sacred sun of reflection offends me, I'll kill him sooner or later. Rest in peace," Lu Ming said coldly. He struck out with his palm and killed the other party. Lu Ming pulled out the long spear and returned to the original battlefield. Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan had caught up with the remaining 2 young men and killed them in no time. Buzz! Lu Ming's figure moved and appeared beside a young man. This young man was the one in luxurious clothes. The young man in luxurious clothes was the first to attack Lu Ming. He was severely injured by Lu Ming's spear and half of his body was broken. He lay on the ground, unable to move. He had witnessed the entire scene just now. At this moment he was so scared that he peed his pants. When he first met Lu Ming was just a demi-G.O.D. ant and he did not take him seriously at all. He had never expected Lu Ming to be so terrifying. "Don't kill me, don't kill me. As long as you spare my dog life, I'll obey your every order from now on. I'll be your dog. Please spare me." The young man in luxurious clothes shouted in fear. "I don't need a dog. You can go in peace," Lu Ming said coldly. He swung his spear and ended the person. "Let's hurry and leave this place," Lu Ming said after collecting everyone's storage rings. There was a huge commotion here just now. If the others found out that Lu Ming and the rest had killed more than 30 disciples, they would definitely be in trouble. Their figures flashed and they left the place. A moment after Lu Ming and the rest disappeared, a rainbow light flashed in the sky and a figure appeared. This figure was the outer sect deacon, Lu Zhong. How did this happen? Lu Zhong's eyes widened in disbelief when he saw the corpses all over the ground. What's going on? This wound was a sword wound and a gunshot wound. He was killed by someone. Who is it? Who is it? Lu Zhong roared, his eyes extremely ferocious. Could it be Lu Ming, that kid? He thought of Lu Ming in his joy. That was because the young man in luxurious clothes and the rest had been waiting here all along to block Lu Ming. He knew all of this. However, were Lu Ming and the few of them that powerful? Ned B** starred, "I won't let this matter rest." Lu Zhong gave a low growl and in a flash he left the place. The days that followed were rather peaceful. With Qiuqiu's help, Lu Ming and the rest obtained many wood crystals in the forest. Although it couldn't be compared to the abyss, it was still pretty good. The 3-month period was almost up. Lu Ming and the other 2 headed out of the forest. In the forest, figures kept rushing out and came to the outside of the forest. Outside, the outer sect elders stood in the air. It was obvious that he had been waiting here. How's your harvest this time? Not bad. Nest, you've actually broken through 1 level. Many people met and chatted with each other. Many people had a smile on their faces. This time, most of them had a good harvest. Killing plant life forms and obtaining wood crystals could quickly increase one's cultivation. There were even many people who directly broke through one level of cultivation, which saved many years of time. Not long after, almost all the disciples who went in came out. However, the number of people was much smaller. When they entered, there were more than 600 people, but now, there were only about 500 people. There were about 100 fewer people. It was obvious that these people had all fallen in the forest and become nutrients for the plant life. At this moment, 4 rainbow lights flew out from the forest. It was the 4 outer sect deacons. They were the rear guards and had just come out. As soon as Lu Zhong came out, his gaze swept toward Lu Ming. A powerful aura suddenly pressed down on Lu Ming. Boom! Lu Ming felt as if he had been crushed by a divine mountain. His body trembled violently and he retreated continuously. A stream of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. "What are you doing?" Xian Yanqing shouted and stood beside Lu Ming. The others, including the outer sect elders and the 3 outer sect deacons, also looked at Lu Zhong in surprise. "Brat, you've harmed your fellow disciples with such ruthless methods. Today, I'll clean up my sect and kill you." He shouted in joy and his killing intent was cold. Without any explanation, he threw a palm at Lu Ming, not giving him a chance to defend himself. A terrifying palm print pressed toward Lu Ming, causing his expression to change drastically. Lu Zhong's cultivation had definitely reached true G. Oh, D level, and he might even be an advanced true G. Oh, D. It was too terrifying. Lu Ming could not resist at all. The difference in cultivation was too great. It was not something that talent could make up for. However, at this moment, a force came from the side and blocked Lu Zhong's attack. Chapter 2672 Mysterious Visitor Lise reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron, what's going on? The outer sect elder said with a frown. Elder, this kid is insane. He killed dozens of fellow disciples in the forest. He deserves to die 10,000 times. Lu Zhong said coldly. What? Many people were shocked by his words. Was it true that Lu Ming had killed dozens of his fellow disciples? You're slandering me. Lu Ming wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and stepped forward. His eyes were bright as he stared at Lu Zhong and said, Deacon Lu Zhong, do you have any evidence that I killed my fellow disciple? Those disciples were clearly killed by you. You still dare to quibble? Lu Zhong said coldly. What excuse? I'm asking you, do you have evidence? Did you see it with your green eyes or did you have other witnesses? Lu Ming said loudly. He was speechless for a moment. Although he was certain that he was killed by Lu Ming and the rest, how could he have any evidence? That means there's no evidence. Lu Ming raised his voice and said, Since there's no evidence, why did Deacon Lu Zhong say that I killed him? Why didn't he die in the hands of a plant life form? Why didn't he die in the hands of others? Lu Ming asked a few questions in a row, pressing on step by step. You still dare to quibble? He roared in the midst of the music, like a furious lion, and glared at Lu Ming. He found it hard to defend himself. Was he supposed to say that the disciples who had died were killed because they had surrounded Lu Ming and that Lu Ming was the murderer? However, could he say that? The few of us have been honestly hunting for plant life in the forest, but we didn't expect to be slandered like this. Elder Lu Zhong, I want to know why? Did Huang Wu ask you to slander me? Or are you from the Tianhong sect? I did offend both of them. Lu Ming shouted loudly, his voice spreading throughout the entire venue. Oh, I understand. I understand now. Lu Ming has offended the Tianhong faction and Deacon Lu Zhong is from the Tianhong faction. Many people's hearts moved, and they had an expression of sudden realization. Lu Zhong was at a loss for words after being questioned by Lu Ming. He definitely did not have any evidence. Moreover, Lu Ming had offended the Tianhong faction and Lu Zhong happened to be a member of the Tianhong faction. Many people thought that Lu Zhong was taking the opportunity to take revenge and slander Lu Ming. This kid, Lu Zhong gritted his teeth and his heart was burning with anger, but he was helpless. This old fellow is indeed from Huang Wu's side or Tianhong's faction. Perhaps, those people who tried to kill me earlier were also intentionally allowed to do so by this old fellow? Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. He was just making things up to test the other party. Seeing that the other party did not say anything, he knew that he had guessed correctly. Alright, it seems like this is a misunderstanding. Deacon Lu Zhong, in the future, you should not be so impulsive. The outer sect elder spoke. He had a rough idea in his heart, but this was a dispute between factions. He didn't want to interfere too much, so he just tried to smooth things over. With a wave of his hand, a divine combat sword appeared and expanded rapidly. He landed on the combat sword first. Lu Zhong cast a very cold glance at Lu Ming and his eyes landed on his combat sword. Then, the others all landed on their swords. The swords turned into a rainbow light and disappeared. Soon, they returned to the outer gate area. After returning, Lu Ming parted ways with Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan. He returned to his room and went into seclusion to cultivate. He had many things to do next. On one side, he had to temper his Shun power and strengthen his foundation. On the other, he had to comprehend the battle character. The word battle in his sea of consciousness was simply unfathomable. Lu Ming felt that up until now, he had only comprehended the surface of it. There was endless potential waiting for him to unearth. Now, if he wanted to trigger the tripled combat power, the chance was 1 in a few dozen. Only when his understanding of the battle formula deepened would the chances of this increase. Moreover, Lu Ming still had to cultivate the 3 apocalyptic strikes and the 9-layered crimson gold armor. He felt that he did not have enough time. Lu Ming spent the rest of the time fully focused on cultivation. Huang Wu's courtyard. Huang Wu roared. This time, he had invited many experts from the Floating Light faction to kill Lu Ming in the forest. However, he had received news that those experts were all dead. These people went to hunt Lu Ming together, but they all died at the same time. It could not be a coincidence. Huang Wu suspected that Lu Ming was the one who did it. However, was Lu Ming that powerful? Senior brother Huang Wu, that kid Lu Ming is very strange. Should we consult senior brother Huang Wen? One of the lackeys said carefully. My big brother has been in closed-door cultivation recently. Let's wait for him to come out first. That kid, let him live for a while longer. Huang Wu said coldly. At the same time, the people from the Tianhong sect were also furious. They brought back the news happily, suspecting that the young man in luxurious clothes and the rest from the Tianhong sect had died at Lu Ming's hands. A storm was brewing. In the outer sect area, where the female disciples lived. The mountains and rivers here were verdant, and there were countless strange peaks. Xian Yanjin's figure flickered in a hidden valley. Runes emerged from his hand and landed on the ground. A mysterious formation was faintly visible on the ground. After a few hours, Xian Yanjuan finally stopped. He let out a sigh of relief and made a hand seal. With a light shout, the formation glowed and condensed into a tiny ray of light. It shot into the sky and disappeared in an instant. The speed was unimaginable. I hope you'll receive it. Staying here is too slow. It's not a long-term solution. Xian Yanjuan murmured. Then he sat down cross-legged and began to cultivate. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, a month had passed. One day, Xian Yanjuan suddenly opened his eyes. Tea in front of Xian Yanjuan rippled and an old man in a gray robe suddenly appeared. Uncle Hong, Xian Yanjuan exclaimed in surprise when he saw the gray-robed elder. The gray-robed old man's eyes seemed to have stars in them as he studied Xian Yanjuan. His aged face was filled with joy. Young miss, it's you? It's really you. You've successfully reincarnated? The gray-robed elder was so excited that his voice started to tremble. After reincarnating for so many years, I've succeeded by luck. Xian Yanjuan said. She felt much more relaxed after seeing the old man in gray. Thank you. Thank you. The gray-robed old man sighed with tears in his eyes. He looked at Xian Yanjuan lovingly and said after a while, I wonder how the second young lady is doing. She's also nearby. I'll call her over. Xian Yanjuan said. He then took out a jade voice transmission talisman and sent a message to Xian Yanqing. Second Miss is here too? Could it be that the second lady has also successfully reincarnated? The gray-robed elder was even more excited. She said it was a success, so it's a success, but it's not a complete success. Xian Yanjuan said. It can't be considered a complete success? What's going on? The gray-robed elder asked. Her obsession in this life is too strong, so she swallowed her previous life in this life. Her will is now in this life. She's not completely Tang Qing anymore. Xian Yanjuan sighed. Chapter 2673 The Tang Family Lease Reading Omicron N Novel Cool. Omicron. The old man's expression changed when he heard Xian Yanjuan's words. After a long while he sighed. Reincarnation has countless risks. If you can't awaken, you'll be trapped in reincarnation forever until you die. It's already very fortunate that the second young lady has awakened. At least, she still has the memories of her previous life. The gray-robed old man sighed. He had lived for a long time and had seen many people reincarnate. However, only 1 in 10,000 people could truly be reincarnated and awaken. Most of them had sunk into eternal oblivion. There were also many people like Xian Yanqing who were too obsessed with this life and eventually decided to take control of it. This way, the reincarnation was only half successful. It was rare to see someone like Xian Yanjuan who had fully awakened. Moreover, she has a family now. She has a son and a granddaughter. Then, Xian Yanjuan told him about Xian Yanqing and Lu Ming's situation. The two of them chatted as they waited. Not long after, a figure floated in. It was Xian Yanqing. You are... When Xian Yanqing saw the gray-robed old man, her delicate body trembled and her face turned pale. Hong Yang pays his respects to the second young lady. The gray-robed old man bowed to Xian Yanqing. Hong, Xian Yanqing said softly. He originally wanted to call him Uncle Hong, but after a moment of silence, he changed his words. Senior, you don't have to be so polite. My name is Xian Yanqing now, not Tang Qing. You are the reincarnation of the second young lattice soul. No matter which lifetime you are in control of, you are the second young lady in my heart. The gray-robed elder bowed. Senior, why have you come? Xian Yanqing said. Xian Yanqing, we should leave. This is not a place for us to stay. Xian Yanjuan said. Leave? No, I want leave. Xian Yanqing shook his head, his expression firm. I'm not leaving, Xian Yanqing. Our cultivation is too slow here. Only by leaving can we improve quickly. Xian Yanjuan said. If my cultivation is slow, then it'll just slowly improve. Xian Yanqing continued to shake his head. Xian Yanqing, are you really going to abandon the Tang family just like that? In your past life, you were the second miss of the Tang family, Tang Qing. Don't forget that they are in danger now. Xian Yanjuan's voice grew louder. Xian Yanqing frowned. There seemed to be some struggle between his brows, but he did not speak. Moreover, there are some things that will only be difficult if the two of us work together. Moreover, Father's whereabouts are currently unknown. Only if we work together can we find him. Only if we find Father will we have hope. Do you understand? Xian Yanjuan's voice grew louder as he pressed on. The father she was referring to was naturally not Xie Qitian from the Xie family of the Divine Wilderness continent, but her father from her previous life. Xian Yanqing. The struggle between Xian Yanqing's brows became more intense. Finally, he shouted as if he wanted to strengthen his belief. I know that you are Xian Yanqing. I also know that you can't bear to leave Lu Ming, Lu Shunhuang, and Lu Qi. However, if you stay, you will only bring harm to them. You should know very well how terrifying and powerful our enemies are. You are Tang Qing's soul. Just based on this, you will be discovered by them sooner or later. The Qin Heaven Star Zone is located in a remote area. It's still alright. However, with Lu Ming's talent, do you think he will stay in the Qin Heaven Star Zone forever? With his talent, he will leave the Qin Heaven Star region sooner or later. At that time, if you come into contact with those people, you're ident. 1. Tai will be discovered sooner or later. You're the daughter of Tu. They won't let you off. They won't let Lu Ming and the rest off either. No matter how talented Lu Ming is, he won't be able to fight back when facing those people. I believe you're very clear about this. Otherwise, why didn't you dare to tell Lu Ming anything? You're afraid of implicating them. Xian Yanjuan said as he stared into Xian Yanking's eyes. Xian Yanking's eyes became fluid. You teared. Xian Yanqing, I've said everything I need to say. It's up to you to decide. Today's separation doesn't mean that you'll never see each other again. If you find father, you'll still see each other. Xian Yanjuan said. All right, I'll go with you. After some struggle, Xian Yanqing finally spoke again, his eyes filled with determination. Xian Yanjuan smiled. But I have to go and say goodbye to Lu Ming. Xian Yanqing said. I'll go with you. Xian Yanjuan said. I'll send you there. Just point me to the location. The gray-robed elder said. Then he waved his hand and disappeared with Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan. In the next moment, they reappeared in Lu Ming's courtyard. Lu Ming sensed Xian Yanqing and the rest the moment they appeared. Although he was cultivating, he had left a trace of spiritual sense to keep an eye on his surroundings. Shao Qing and Xian Yanjuan, what's the matter? Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He ended his cultivation and walked out of the room. When Lu Ming walked out of the room and his gaze fell on the gray-robed elder, his pupils could not help but shrink. He had never thought that there would be a third person. Just now, he only sensed Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjin's auras. He didn't sense the gray-robed elder's aura at all. It was as if he was just air. Unfathomable. This was Lu Ming's first impression of the gray-robed elder. Lu Ming, let me introduce you. This is Uncle Hong. Xian Yanjuan was the first to speak. Uncle Hong. Lu Ming was slightly stunned. Xian Yanjuan called him Uncle Hong so affectionately, so he must be very close to him. This was the primal universe, so this elder naturally couldn't be from the primordial realm's divine wilderness continent's Xia family. It went without saying that this person was someone Xian Yanjuan knew in his previous life. Lu Ming of the junior generation greets the senior. Lu Ming cupped his fists and said, You're the second young lattice husband in this life. You're indeed a dragon among men. The gray-robed elder sized Lu Ming up, as if he could see through all of Lu Ming's secrets. He continued, All right, you guys continue chatting. To leave first. With that, the gray-robed elder's body disappeared. Lu Ming could not even tell how he disappeared. Lu Ming. Xian Yanqing walked to Lu Ming's side and muttered to himself, I'm going to leave. What's? Lu Ming's heart trembled and his expression changed slightly. Leave? Little Qing, what do you mean by this? There are some things that I need to do. But don't worry, I'll be back soon. Xian Yanqing said. Where are you going? I'll go with you. Lu Ming said. Lu Ming, I'm afraid you can't help with this. Xian Yanjuan said. What's the matter? Lu Ming frowned and asked. To tell you the truth, Xian Yanqing and I were both from the Tang family in our previous lives. However, the Tang family is facing a huge crisis. My father has gone missing and we need Xian Yanqing and me to find him. You are too weak to help. Moreover, our cultivation will only improve rapidly after we leave. It's only a matter of time before we return to our previous lives. We can't unleash our potential here. Xian Yanjuan said. Chapter 2674 Virtual G. Oh. D. Ranking List Expert Lease Reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron, great danger? Then I can't let little Qing go alone. Lu Ming's expression changed. Lu Ming, don't worry. It'll be very safe when I go to that place. Xian Yanqing said. That's right. Lu Ming, let me tell you, if Xian Yanqing stays by your side, he will be in real danger. It's easy for the enemy to sense him. When that happens, not only will Xian Yanqing be in danger, but you, Lu Shenhuang, Lu Qi, and your family will all be in danger. Xian Yanjuan said. For a moment, Lu Ming was speechless. He understood that Xian Yanqing had left most likely for their safety. He wasn't afraid of himself, but he had to consider for Lu Shenhuang and the rest. Strength, it's still strength. Lu Ming could not help but clench his fists. After coming to the desolate universe, he deeply felt that he was too weak. Lu Ming, don't worry. Our separation is only temporary. We'll meet again sooner or later, Xian Yanqing said as he held Lu Ming's hand. Lu Ming was silent and did not speak. At this time, the teeth flickered, and the gray-robed elder's figure reappeared. Lu Ming, this is for you. The gray-robed elder waved his hand and a jade talisman flew towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming reached out and took it. The address we're going to is inside, but I've placed a seal on it. One day, when your cultivation Serpa SES that of AG, King, you'll be able to break the seal. At that time, you can partake 1 P8 in everything. The gray-robed elder said. Serpa sing the King level. Lu Ming's heart trembled. Lu Ming had never heard of the realm above the king of According to what he knew, the strongest experts in the Qin Heaven Starfield were kings. He had never heard of an existence that transcended Lu Ming, take care. We will meet again very soon. I believe in you. Xian Yanqing spoke softly, then pressed his red lips against Lu Ming's. After a long time, their lips parted. Little Qing, don't worry. It won't take me too long to reach the King realm. I'll definitely reach that realm. When that time comes, I'll come and find you. Lu Ming whispered in Xian Yanqing's ear. His voice was firm and so was his gaze. He had seen all kinds of storms along the way. In the heaven realm, even someone as powerful as the evil tribe had been annihilated by him in the end. Since Xian Yanqing had a great enemy in his previous life and they were destined to fight, he would flatten him and erase him from the face of time. I believe in you, Lu Ming. Take care. Xian Yanqing muttered as he retreated. With a wave of his hand, the gray-robed elder swept up Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjuan with a force and they disappeared without a trace. Little Qing, wait for me. Looking at the empty courtyard, a low and deep voice reverberated in the courtyard. After a long while, Lu Ming took a deep breath to calm himself down. He then returned to his room to cultivate. He would definitely use the shortest amount of time to reach the King realm. No matter how strong the opponent was, he would flatten them. Xian Yanqing and Xian Yanjin's departure did not cause any commotion in Kongxian sect. There were many disciples in the Kongxian sect. Every year, some disciples would go missing, be killed, or die while completing missions, or die in dangerous places. To the major forces, this was a very normal thing. However, the King experts of the Kongxian sect did not sense the arrival of the gray-robed elder on planet Kongxian. This made Lu Ming understand that the cultivation of the gray-robed elder was impossible to guess. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed, said since Xian Yanqing left. On this day, a group of people arrived at the Huangwu courtyard. Big brother, you've finally come out of seclusion. Huangwu was standing in front of a white-robed young man, his face full of smiles. The white-robed young man had a cold expression on his face. He was Huangwu's elder brother, Huangwen. I know everything about you, Huangwen said, his voice revealing a hint of killing intent. Big brother, you have to avenge me. That Lu Ming, that B***starred, dared to injure me and kill the people of my floating light faction. I'll tear him into 1,000 pieces. Huangwu's face was ferocious. He's dead. He's definitely dead. However, it's not easy to deal with him if he stays in the sect. Huangwen frowned. There was a rule in the Kongxian sect that killing was not allowed within the sect. Then what should we do? Are we just going to let him be? Huangwu said unwillingly. Carefree, how is that possible? He. Huangwen sneered. Dongfang Han, go and issue a life and death duel invitation to that brat. Force him out of the mountain gate, and then go and kill him. Let Dongfang Han write a life and death duel? How is this possible? That kid isn't stupid, how could he agree? Huangwu said. Killing was forbidden in the Kongxian sect, but there was one exception. That was the life and death duel. However, there were also conditions to issuing the deathmatch challenge. The two outer sect elders had to sign it, and both parties had to agree to the challenge. Only after they stamped their thumbprints would the deathmatch challenge take effect. This way, they could enter the life and death battle stage and fight to the death, and the sect would not pursue the matter. However, Dongfang Hao was an expert on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list. Almost all of the outer sect disciples were at the void G.O.D. realm, and there were close to 100,000 of them. Therefore, someone had created a ranking list which was the virtual G.O.D. ranking list. He listed the 120 strongest virtual G.O.D. level powerhouses and made a ranking. Everyone who made it onto the virtual G.O.D. ranking was an expert at the peak of the 9th level of the virtual G.O.D. realm. Their combat strength was extremely powerful, and even Serpa said people of the same level. One had to know that there were more than 120 people who had reached the 9th level of the void G.O.D. realm in the outer sect of the Kongxian sect. There were even more than 10,000 people. Many of them had reached the 9th level of ethereal G.O.D. realm and then got stuck at this realm, unable to advance further. Out of so many people, only 120 were listed. It could be seen how strong these 120 people were. Although Dongfang Hao was ranked 120th at the bottom of the virtual G.O.D. ranking list, his combat strength far surpassed, said other 9th level virtual G.O.D. realm experts. Sending such an expert to issue a death duel invitation to Lu Ming, it would be a wonder if Lu Ming would sign it. Of course, I know that he doesn't dare to sign it. My purpose is to put pressure on him and force him to leave the mountain gate. Then I can crush him as easily as crushing an ant. Huang Wen sneered. Big brother is wise. Huang Wu was overjoyed. Next, a young man with short red hair left the place. He was Dongfang Hao, one of the top outer sect disciples. One day, Lu Ming was cultivating when a voice came from outside the courtyard. Lu Ming, get out here. His voice was like thunder, shaking the entire courtyard. Lu Ming's face darkened. He ended his cultivation and went to the courtyard. At this moment, the surrounding outer sect disciples were also alarmed. Someone is finding trouble with Lu Ming again. That's Dongfang Hao. What? It's Dongfang Hao from the virtual G.O.D. ranking. He's the top expert in the outer sect of the transient light faction. Lu Ming is in trouble. Many people recognized Dongfang Hao and were shocked. Chapter 2675 Third Level of the Void G.O.D. Realm Lease Reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron, Dongfang Hao, Virtual D ranking? Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. The moment he saw Dongfang Hao, he felt a sense of danger, as if he was being stared at by a terrifying wild beast. An expert. Lu Ming immediately knew that this was an extremely terrifying expert. You are Lu Ming? You even dare to kill my floating light faction's people? You're very bold. Dongfang Hao glared at Lu Ming coldly, his cold, killing intent enveloping Lu Ming completely. I'm indeed quite bold. Lu Ming responded. Is that so? Since you're so bold, I'll issue you a life and death duel now. Do you dare to accept it? A gilded invitation appeared in Dongfang Hao's hand. With a wave of his hand, the invitation flew toward Lu Ming like lightning. Lu Ming stretched out his hand to receive it. He felt a strong surge of energy surging towards him. His body swayed slightly and he dispelled this energy. He then received the invitation card steadily in his hand. Lu Ming took a glance and saw that on the post, there were 5 big words, a life and death duel. There were the signatures of 2 outer sect elders, as well as Dongfang Hao's signature and fingerprint. As long as Lu Ming stamped his thumbprint on it, he would have agreed to the life and death duel. What? Dongfang Hao actually issued a death duel invitation to Lu Ming? I didn't hear wrong, did I? You didn't hear wrong. That's it. It can't be. Dongfang Hao is a person on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list. Lu Ming has just entered the sect not long ago. Dongfang Hao's words caused a commotion among the outer disciples. An expert on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list actually issued a life and death duel invitation to a disciple who had just entered the sect. This was rare in history. You're really shameless. 9th level ethereal G. Oh, D-Realm, and you dare to challenge a disciple who just entered the sect. Lu Ming sneered and mocked. Weren't you very bold just now? Now you're a coward? If you don't have the guts to accept it, then get out of the sect. Dong Feng Hao berated. Many people looked at him with disdain. Dong Feng Hao was an expert on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list. Wasn't it normal for him to not dare to accept the challenge? However, no one dared to speak up. Lu Ming looked at the life and death duel letter in his hands and seemed to be in deep thought. Did you hear that? If you don't dare to answer, get out of the sect. My Kongxian sect will not keep such a cowardly person. Dong Feng Hao continued to berate him shamelessly. Don't make a fuss here. I'll sign this life and death duel agreement. Suddenly, Lu Ming's voice was heard. Then, a drop of blood seeped out of his finger and he imprinted his handprint on the mountain of books. The surroundings suddenly fell silent. He signed it. Lu Ming actually signed it. Everyone was stunned. They did not expect that Lu Ming would really dare to sign the life and death contract. Dong Feng Hao himself was stunned. He had never thought that Lu Ming would sign the life and death duel agreement. His original intention was to force Lu Ming to leave the sect, and then Huang Wen would send people to kill Lu Ming. Kid, there's a time limit to the life and death duel. It must be carried out within 3 years. Otherwise, you'll be expelled from the sect. Do you understand? Dong Feng Hao said coldly. 3 years? There's no need for 3 years. We'll meet on the life and death battle stage 1 year later. Lu Ming said. 1 year, all right, 1 year later then. Dong Feng Hao then added a year to the life and death duel. A year later, if Lu Ming did not dare to accept the challenge, he would be expelled from the Kongxian sect. After writing down the date, Dong Feng Hao cast a cold glance at Lu Ming and soared into the sky, leaving the place. Lu Ming actually signed it. He doesn't want to live anymore. I think he's deliberately stalling for time. By time? What could he do in a year? He won't be able to catch up to Dong Feng Hao in a year. Could it be that he wants to take this opportunity to leave the Kongxian sect? It's possible. Although he has left the Kongxian sect, at least he's still alive. It's better than being killed by Dong Feng Hao. Many people discussed and felt that Lu Ming was deliberately stalling for time. In the Yellow Martial Palace. What? That kid actually signed it. Huang Wen, Huang Wu, and the others were also surprised when they heard the news. They initially thought that Lu Ming would definitely not sign it. Huang Wen's purpose was to force Lu Ming to leave. Once Lu Ming signed it, his plan was disrupted. This kid is definitely stalling for time and then taking the opportunity to sneak away. Huang Wu said. The others nodded and agreed with Lu Ming's plan. Given Lu Ming's current cultivation base, there was a 10,000% chance that he would not be a match for Dong Feng Hao in a year's time. What a good plan. However, since Zhen has left, he can forget about coming back in the future. Huang Wen said coldly. If he left, he would be expelled from the sect. 1 year later, let's wait and see. If he doesn't leave, well, kill him. Huang Wen said. He then left the place and returned to the inner sect. A year was too short for a martial G.T. They did not think that Lu Ming would be able to cause any trouble within a year. The news that Lu Ming had signed the life and death duel agreement with Dong Feng Hao spread among the outer sect disciples rapidly, causing a huge commotion. Some people thought that Lu Ming was courting death, but more people thought that he was stalling for time and wanted to take the opportunity to escape. In fact, some of them were secretly staring at Lu Ming to see if he was going to slip away. Lu Ming could not be bothered with all this. He returned to his room and continued cultivating. After a few days, Lu Ming opened his eyes. I can continue to break through. Lu Ming muttered. After a few months of tempering and polishing, his foundation was already very solid, and he could continue to attack new realms. He still had many wood crystals in his hands, but he had not refined them yet. He took out a wood crystal, swallowed it, and began to cultivate. And NBSP he trained in sovereign divine power, and each breakthrough required an astonishing amount of resources. However, the wood crystals that Lu Ming had obtained in the abyss and the ones he had obtained after killing the plant life forms were not used. They were enough for him to break through. The wood crystals were quickly refined. Lu Ming's cultivation level was also rising rapidly and he was approaching the third level of the Void D realm. Half a month later, when Lu Ming refined the last wood crystal, his cultivation had successfully broken through to the third level of the Void D realm. Third level Void D realm isn't enough to deal with Dongfang Hao. Lu Ming muttered. When he was at the second level of the virtual D realm, Lu Ming could easily defeat powerhouses at the seventh level of the virtual D realm, such as the young man in luxurious clothes and the others. At that time, his battle power was equivalent to an 8th level Void D realm prodigy who controlled king-grade divine power. Now that his cultivation had broken through to the third level of the Void D realm, theoretically he could fight a 9th level Void D realm expert if he went all out. However, Lu Ming knew that he would most likely not be a match for a 9th level Void D level powerhouse. This was because 9th level Void D realm experts could already practice and use divine skills. There was a huge gap between them and 8th level Void D realm experts. Once a divine skill was used, one's battle prowess would be astonishing. Moreover, Dongfang Hao was on the virtual D ranking. His abilities must be even more terrifying. Lu Ming would most likely be no match for him now. Even if he activated the battle character formula to double his combat strength, he would not be a match for him. Lu Ming still needed to make more breakthroughs before he could fight Dongfang Hao. Chapter 2676 Sect Master of Kongxian Sect Lease Reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron. Everyone thought that Lu Ming was trying to stall for time and take the opportunity to escape. However, Lu Ming did not have such plans at all. The reason why he gave him a year's time was to force himself to improve quickly. He wanted to reach the D King realm in the shortest time possible. Continue. He closed his eyes and continued to cultivate and comprehend the battle character formula. In the blink of an eye, another 2 months had passed. In the core area of the Kongxian sect, a figure was waiting in front of a secret chamber. If Lu Ming was here, he would definitely recognize this figure. He was the outer sect elder who had brought them to Kongxian sect during the assessment for the recruitment of disciples, Huoquan. Kacha. The door of the secret room opened, and an old man with white hair and a white beard walked out. The old man's eyes seemed to be filled with wisdom. Huoquan pays his respects to the sect master. Huoquan immediately saluted respectfully. This old man was the sect leader of the Kongxian sect, Dragon Boat Mountain. Huoquan, why are you looking for this lord? Dragon Boat Mountain said. Because of the new disciples, sect master was in closed-door cultivation before, so I didn't come to disturb you. I heard that sect master is about to come out of closed-door cultivation, so I came to report. Huoquan said. A new disciple? You can just arrange this matter, why do you need to report to me? Dragon Boat Mountain said indifferently, a hint of displeasure on his face. Sect leader, it's different this time. There's a little guy inside. I suspect that the divine power he controls is divine-grade divine power. Huoquan immediately bowed and said, What? Dragon Boat Mountain's eyes widened as a terrifying aura burst out from his body. This aura was as vast as the universe. Even with Huoquan's heavenly D realm cultivation base, he was still suppressed by this aura. His body trembled violently and he spat out a mouthful of blood. However, the aura of the Dragon Boat Mountain was immediately retracted. However, his eyes still revealed deep shock. Divine-grade divine power. Is what you said true? Dragon Boat Mountain asked as he stared at Huoquan. This subordinate is not very sure. During the disciple recruitment test, I observed his moves many times, but that little fellow cultivates a special secret technique that can conceal his divine power aura very well. I am only suspicious, but I am not 100% sure. Huoquan said. Bring him here, I want to examine him personally. Dragon Boat Mountain said. Yes. Huoquan bowed and took his leave. Divine-grade divine power, divine-grade divine power. Dragon Boat Mountain muttered. His eyes flickered with a fiery light that was mixed with a hint of ferocity. Someone's coming again. Lu Ming was cultivating. Sensing that there were people outside, he ended his cultivation and walked out. Elder Huoquan. At the sight of Huoquan, Lu Ming was slightly stunned and somewhat surprised. Ever since he came to the outer sect of Kongxian sect, Lu Ming had not seen Huoquan. Now, Huoquan suddenly came to look for him. What was the matter? Could it be about the battle with Dongfang Hao? Lu Ming made a guess. Lu Ming greets Elder Hua. Lu Ming cupped his fists and said, Lu Ming, come with me. The sect master wants to see you. Huoquan smiled and sized Lu Ming up. There was a hint of shock in his eyes. He remembered very clearly that Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the demi-G. D realm during the 13 clans. This assessment. Now, he had actually reached the 3rd level of the Void G. D realm. It had only been a few years, and such a cultivation speed was simply too shocking. Lu Ming himself was stunned. The sect master wanted to see him? He was only an outer sect disciple who had just entered the sect. Why would the sect master of Kongxian's sect want to see him all of a sudden? Follow me. Huoquan suppressed the shock in his heart, turned around and flew away. Lu Ming could only suppress the doubts in his heart and follow Huoquan. The outer sect of the Kongxian sect was located on a huge mountain range. One would reach the inner sect area if they went deep into the mountain range. This was not a single mountain range, but rather, several. They were like enormous dragons that were intertwining with each other. The divine qi here was extremely dense, and the cultivation conditions here were even better than the outer sect. Lu Ming followed Huoquan and flew into the inner sect area. Not long after, they arrived at a mountain peak. There was a grand hall on the mountain peak. Lu Ming followed Huoquan into the main hall and saw an old man with white hair and a beard. The old man had a smile on his face, but he exuded a sense of majesty that made people not dare to look at him directly. Subordinate greets sect master. Huoquan bowed respectfully. Disciple Lu Ming greets the sect master. Lu Ming followed suit and bowed. Huoquan, you may leave. Dragon Boat Mountain waved his hand. Huoquan left respectfully, leaving only Lu Ming and the Dragon Boat Mountain in the hall. The Dragon Boat Mountain's eyes flickered with a strange light as it sized Lu Ming up. For some reason, Lu Ming felt goosebumps. MPS all over his body when the Dragon Boat Mountain's gaze swept over him. It was as if he was being stared at by an extremely terrifying venomous snake. All of a sudden, a radiance emanated from Dragon Boat's body. Rays of blood-red divine power condensed into venomous snakes that pounced toward Lu Ming. They were filled with terrifying killing intent. Lu Ming was shocked. He had never expected that the sect master of Kongxian sect would try to kill him. He had never met him or offended him, so why would he do this? Even though he knew that there was a huge difference between his cultivation and his opponents, Lu Ming would not give up without a fight. He retreated quickly. However, as soon as Lu Ming retreated, the sea behind him seemed to have solidified and completely blocked his retreat. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. A few venomous snakes wrapped themselves around Lu Ming. They were formed from the divine power of the dragon boat. They were astonishingly powerful. The terrifying power rushed into Lu Ming's body, and he felt a tearing pain. Break! Lu Ming roared. And NBSP at this moment, he had no time to hide. He unleashed all of his sovereign divine power, violet gold in color, as he charged at the venomous snakes. At the same time, a red gold armor appeared on Lu Ming's body. This was the divine skill, 9-stage crimson gold armor. When it was used, it was as if a suit of armor had covered the body. Divine-grade divine power, it really is divine-grade divine power, and it's even a ruler's divine power. The dragon boat's eyes burned with pause, shone as they looked at the divine energy circulating around Lu Ming's body. With a wave of their hands, the venomous snakes that were coiling around Lu Ming's body disappeared without a trace. Lu Ming felt his entire body relax. He could not help but gasp for air, a layer of cold sweat breaking out on his body. Sect Master, what is the meaning of this? Lu Ming looked at Dragon Boat Mountain with a gloomy expression. No one would be in a good mood if she tried to kill him the moment they met. Not bad, not bad. You have indeed mastered divine-grade divine power. Dragon Boat Mountain's face was filled with joy as he repeatedly nodded his head. He was extremely excited. Lu Ming frowned. The other party was only trying to test if he had mastered the divine-grade divine energy. Your name is Lu Ming, right? In the future, I will nurture you well and let you grow up as soon as possible. Dragon Boat Mountain said. Thank you, sect leader. Lu Ming said. Chapter 2677 Dark Dragon Blood Curse Lease reading Omicron N Novel Cool. Omicron, however, I have a condition. Dragon Boat Mountain's tone suddenly changed as he said, I will nurture you well, but you have to swear on your life source that you will listen to my every word in the future. You will do whatever I tell you to do, understand? Lu Ming's eyes suddenly narrowed and his face darkened. The meaning behind Dragon Boat Mountain's words was clear. They would nurture Lu Ming in the future. However, Lu Ming had to listen to their every word. This was no different from becoming a tool for Dragon Boat Mountain. The other party wanted to use him as a knife to achieve some kind of goal. How could Lu Ming agree? Sect Master, I swear on my life source that there's no need to do so. You're the Sect Master. If there's anything that you need Lu Ming's help with in the future, he'll definitely do his best. Lu Ming said. Are you rejecting me? Dragon Boat Mountain's expression turned cold, and a dangerous light flickered in his eyes. I swear on my life source. Please forgive Lu Ming for not being able to agree to this. Lu Ming said with a determined expression. Once he swore on his life source, Lu Ming would at the very least become the Dragon Boat's puppet in the future. He would not be able to act on his own. Unable to agree? Today, you have to agree even if you don't want to. If you can't be used by me, I'd rather destroy you. The Dragon Boat Mountain's expression turned even gloomier, and his tone was frosty. A wave of terrifying killing intent enveloped Lu Ming, causing him to shiver. Lu Ming did not expect the sect leader of the Kongxian sect to be so despicable. Once they knew that he could control divine-grade divine power, they wanted to control him. As the master of a sect, he actually threatened his disciples like this. If this were to spread out, I don't know how many people would be bitterly disappointed. Lu Ming suppressed the anger in his heart. Are you threatening me? Dragon Boat Mountain said coldly. I'm telling the truth. If you want to kill me today, just do it. You want me to swear? Dream on. Lu Ming confronted him without any fear. Although he didn't want to die, he would rather die than be the other party's puppet. You have a backbone and aren't afraid of death. But do you think it's useful to be unafraid of death? You think I can't deal with you if you don't swear? How naive. I'll plant the dark dragon blood curse on you and make you wish you were dead. The Dragon Boat Mountain roared and grabbed at the air. Lu Ming felt a powerful force grabbing at him. He could not resist at all and was caught in the dragon boat's hands. Then, the fingers on the dragon boat pointed out continuously. One after another, terrifying rune arcs slithered into Lu Ming's body like blood-red vipers. Roar! Lu Ming let out a beast-like roar because it was too painful. At this moment, Lu Ming's body felt as if it was being bitten by countless small snakes. It was extremely uncomfortable and painful. Enjoy my dark dragon blood curse. The dragon boats sneered continuously. They waved their fingers faster and faster, and more blood-red runes burrowed into Lu Ming's body, intertwining to form a terrifying array. Old man, you old man who won't die, you are despicable and shameless. Lu Ming cursed in pain. Curse all you want, I'll let you curse all you want. Dragon Boat Mountain sneered. You old fart, how dare you call yourself the leader of a sect? You're shameless, perverted, and utterly devoid of conscience. Your son doesn't have an You're impotent at night. By Tianyang, F***ck. Lu Ming's mouth did not stop. He was shooting like a machine gun. After hanging out with Dandan for so long, it was not for nothing. Even though Dragon Boat Mountain's will was firm, he was scolded to the point that his eyelids kept twitching. After a short while, the Dragon Boat Mountain finally stopped moving. The dark dragon blood curse had already been laid down. Lu Ming's body emitted a piercing red light. It was like countless small snakes that wrapped around his body, causing him to suffer endless pain. This pain was worse than being cut into pieces. In the end, Lu Ming did not even have the strength to curse. He fell to the ground and panted heavily. "Now you know how powerful I am." The dragon boat sneered. With a wave of their hands, the runes on Lu Ming's body, which were like vipers, disappeared. The pain on Lu Ming's body also disappeared. Lu Ming looked into his body and realized that the runes that were like poisonous snakes had disappeared without a trace. He could not detect them at all. The dark dragon blood curse has been hidden deep in your body. As long as I think about it, you will be in extreme pain and even die instantly. Now, your life and death are completely in my hands. Do you understand? Dragon Boat Mountain said coldly. You're really despicable. Tell me, what do you want me to do? Lu Ming gritted his teeth. He planned to calm the old man down first, then think of a way to get rid of the dark dragon blood curse in his body. There's no rush. Your cultivation is still too weak now. When your cultivation improves, it'll naturally need you. Remember, you'd better be obedient. Otherwise, it'll make you disappear completely. Dragon Boat Mountain said coldly. He then took out a golden token and threw it to Lu Ming. This is a gold token, the highest quality token in the Kongxian sect. With this token, other than some restricted areas, you can enter anywhere you want in the Kongxian sect. You can also enter some cultivation's sacred grounds. Cultivate well. With that, the Dragon Boat Mountain waved its hand and Lu Ming was pushed out by a force. In it. Lu Ming's expression was extremely cold. The other party naturally did not have good intentions when they gave him the gold token. They only hoped that he would improve as soon as possible and be of use to him in the future. Lu Ming lowered his head and pondered for a moment. He kept the gold token and walked out. Not long after, he saw Huquan. Lu Ming, how is it? What did the sect master say to you? With a talent like yours, the sect master will probably put in a lot of effort to cultivate you. Huquan said with a smile. His smile was very clean, as if he didn't know anything. This Huquan, doesn't he know how despicable the Dragon Boat Mountain is? Lu Ming was puzzled. He nodded casually and said, It's all right. They'll send you back. Huquan said. He then brought Lu Ming out of the inner sect area and returned to the outer sect area. After returning to his residence, Lu Ming immediately went into seclusion. He circulated the universe Thousand Dao art with all his might. The Dominator's divine power seeped into every part of his body and swam through every inch of his muscles, bones, and even his internal organs. He wanted to find the dark dragon blood curse and destroy it. However, after using his ruler's divine power to make a full circle, he found nothing. That old man, since he knows that I have control over the ruler's divine power, he definitely knows that I can't destroy the dark dragon blood curse with the ruler's divine power. Lu Ming's face was gloomy. He had not expected the sect leader of the Kongxian sect to be such a despicable, cunning, and shameless person. For now, I can only play along and calm the other party down. They'll find a way to break the dark dragon blood curse in the future. I, Lu Ming, will remember this grudge today. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with a cold light. He had been through countless storms and waves on his way here. He didn't believe that he wouldn't be able to overcome this obstacle. Lu Ming then took out the gold token. Since you want to cultivate me well, then I'll borrow your strength to improve my strength first. Lu Ming pondered. Then he left the outer gate area and headed toward the inner gate. There were many cultivation sanctuaries in the inner sect. With this golden token, Lu Ming could use those cultivation sanctuaries to cultivate and improve his strength. Chapter 2678 Inner Sect Area Lease Reading Omicron N Novel Cool. Omicron M. Lu Ming went to the inner sect area again, but he was blocked at an entrance. Stop! Two burly men in black appeared in front of Lu Ming, blocking his way. These two black-robed men's auras were as thick as mountains. With a single glance, one could tell that they were terrifying experts. Two seniors, I want to go in. Lu Ming cupped his fists and said, You're going in? Little fellow, hurry up and leave. Outer disciples are not allowed to enter unless there are special circumstances. A burly man in black casually waved his hand and revealed a look of contempt. They could tell at a glance that Lu Ming's cultivation was only at 3rd level Void G.O.D realm. With such a cultivation, even in the outer sect, he would be at the bottom. How dare he enter the inner sect? Lu Ming's expression was calm. He knew that this would happen. The last time he came here, he was not stopped because he was with Huo Quan. This time, he was alone. It was normal for him to be stopped. Seniors, this is my token. Lu Ming took out the gold token. Token? What token? The two men in black casually glanced over, and their eyes instantly widened. What? Gold token? The two of them were tongue-tied and almost bit their own tongues. They had never expected that Lu Ming would have a gold token. In the Kongxian sect, there were very few people who had a gold token. Apart from a few holy sons and holy virgins, only a few people had golden tokens, but they all had bleident ties. However, Lu Ming was merely a 3rd level Void G.D. They had never seen him before. How could he have a gold token? Could it be? This kid is a disciple secretly taken in by some big shot? The two black-robed men thought to themselves, and their faces immediately revealed a respectful expression. So it turns out that little brother has a gold token, then you can naturally enter. Please come in. The two of them immediately changed their expressions, nodding and bowing, trying to please him. Many thanks. Lu Ming smiled and was about to step in. Wait a moment. At this moment, a delicate shout came from behind. There was a flash of light and a young and beautiful girl appeared beside Lu Ming. The young lady's skin was like jade, and her facial features were exquisite. She was a rare beauty. She blinked her big eyes and sized Lu Ming up curiously. Who are you? I've never seen it before. Where did you get the gold token? Miss, I don't think I need to tell you where I got the gold token. Lu Ming smiled faintly. You won't tell me? You just don't dare to tell me, right? Tell me, did you steal your gold token? The young girl widened her eyes as if she wanted to see through Lu Ming. Lu Ming was speechless. Miss, the people who have the gold tokens all have high cultivation levels. Moreover, they're all hidden in their storage rings. Where am I supposed to go to steal them? That's true. The young girl was stunned and pouted. Miss, I still have something to do, so I'll take my leave first. Having said that, Lu Ming walked toward the entrance. Hey, wait for me. You still haven't told me where you got your gold token from. The young girl shouted and followed Lu Ming. The two men in black seemed to be very familiar with the girl. They ignored her and allowed her to enter. This girl's ident. 1. Tai isn't simple. She's only at the Void G realm, but she didn't stop him. Lu Ming's heart stirred. He could sense that the girl's cultivation base hadn't reached the true G.O.D realm yet. She should still be at the ethereal G.O.D realm. Those at the Void Spirit realm were considered to be in the outer sect, so they shouldn't be able to enter the inner sect. Of course, this was with the exception of some special people, such as the disciples or descendants of some great figure. Hey, you still haven't told me where the gold token came from? Tell me, just tell me. The young girl followed Lu Ming closely and muttered to herself. Lu Ming was speechless. He could tell that the young girl had no ill intentions towards him, and was just purely curious. Miss, I'll tell you the truth. This gold token was given to me by the sect master. Lu Ming said helplessly. Did the sect master give it to you? The young girl blinked her big eyes and became even more curious. Why did the sect master give you a gold token? What's your relationship with the sect master? Could it be that you're the sect master's private disciple? Or, are you the sect master's illegitimate child? Lu Ming almost spat out a mouthful of blood 3 feet away. What was this little girl thinking? The hole in his brain was too big. Don't make wild guesses. It's not what you think. Lu Ming said. If it's not what I'm thinking, then what is it? The young girl asked again. Lu Ming was powerless. He could not be bothered with the young girl and strode forward. However, the young girl was like a shadow, following Lu Ming closely. She seemed to be determined not to give up until she figured out what was going on. Lu Ming could not be bothered with the other party. He buried his head in his journey. Hey, Yu Ling Long, what's your name? Hey, where are you going? Hey, that's where the inner sect disciples go to the toilet. What are you doing there? Lu Ming stopped in his tracks, his face turning red. This is my first time in the inner sect. Lu Ming explained awkwardly. It's your first time here. If you want to find a place, I can lead the way. The young lady smiled. I want to find a place to cultivate. It's best if it's the kind of place that can quickly improve cultivation. Lu Ming said. The Divine Pulse Tower is the best place for cultivation. The divine qi in the Divine Pulse Tower is extremely dense. It even contains a trace of the power of the Divine Pulse, which can help people improve their cultivation quickly. The young girl said, Divine Pulse Tower? How do we get there? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Hey, you still haven't told me your name. The young girl widened her eyes. My name is Lu Ming. Lu Ming coughed drily and explained. Lu Ming? What an uncouth name. The young girl pouted while Lu Ming's face darkened. Let's go. It'll take you to the Divine Pulse Tower. But it'll tell you that you'll have to spend points to cultivate in the Divine Pulse Tower. The young girl said. Points? Points? Lu Ming was stunned. You don't even know the points? The young lady rolled her eyes and had a look of disdain on her face. Lu Ming's face turned even darker. He realized that he had been despised by the young lady many times in just a short while. Of course, it's sect points. You can obtain points by completing missions signed by the sect. The points are very useful in the sect. You can enter a cultivation place to cultivate, and you can even exchange them for divine artifacts, various divine skills, divine techniques, and secret skills. The young girl explained. Lu Ming understood now. The Kong Xian sect's so-called points were like the contribution points in other places. Lu Ming started to have a headache. He did not have any points at all. It seemed that he could not go. You don't have points, do you? How about this? Do you have divine crystals? You can exchange divine crystals for points, but it's not worth it. 10,000 divine crystals can only be exchanged for 1 point. Cultivating in the Divine Pulse Tower will cost 1 point a day. The young girl said. Lu Ming gasped in shock. This was too expensive. It cost 1 point a day to cultivate in the Divine Pulse Tower, which was equivalent to 10,000 divine crystals. It was extremely shocking. It's a pity that I don't have many points left. Otherwise, I could sell some to you at a lower price. The young girl muttered. Chapter 2679 Cultivation Base Broken Again Lease Reading Omicron N Novel Cool. Omicron, I do have some divine artifacts on me. Where can I sell divine artifacts here? I'll sell them and exchange them for some points. Lu Ming gritted his teeth. In the end, he decided to go to the Divine Pulse Tower to cultivate. No matter how many divine crystals he had, it was useless to keep them. The only way was to convert them into power. And NBSP, he still had some middle-quality divine artifacts on hand that he could sell. Let's go, it'll take you there. The young lady led the way, followed by Lu Ming. Not long after, they arrived at a bustling place. This place was the place in the inner sect area where people exchanged and sold all kinds of treasures. At the moment, Lu Ming still had 11 middle-grade divine artifacts. Lu Ming planned to sell 6 of them and keep 5. The price of a middle-grade divine artifact was naturally not something that a low-grade divine artifact could compare to. A good level 9 low-grade G.O.D. artifact could be sold for 100,000 G.O.D. crystals. As for a middle-grade G.O.D. artifact, even the lowest level 1 middle-grade G.O.D. artifact could be sold for several hundred thousand. Lu Ming sold 6 items. Among them, there were 3 level 1 middle-grade divine artifacts, 2 level 2 middle-grade divine artifacts, and 1 level 3 middle-grade divine artifact. After selling it, he got a total of 3.6 million G.O.D. crystals. The young girl widened her eyes in shock. She did not expect Lu Ming to be so rich. After that, Lu Ming bought a huge pile of divine artifact fragments. They were all fragments of divine artifacts of level 7 low-grade and above. There were fragments of level 7 low-grade to level 9 low-grade divine artifacts. Lu Ming spent 200,000 divine crystals on the huge pile. These divine artifact fragments were enough for Qiu to eat for a period of time. After that, Lu Ming followed Yu Linglong to the Points Redemption main hall. He used 1.6 million points to redeem 160 points. Let's go and cultivate. With a large number of points, Lu Ming was full of pride. He waved his hand and walked towards the Divine Pulse Tower with Yu Linglong. Is this the Divine Pulse Tower? It looks ordinary. Soon, they arrived at the foot of a giant tower. The tower looked very ancient, but it didn't give off any aura, as if it were just made of some random giant stones. Let's go. The effect of cultivation on each floor of the Divine Pulse Tower is almost the same. It's 1 point a day, Yu Linglong said and walked toward the Divine Pulse Tower. Someone was guarding the Divine Pulse Tower. Take out your ident. 1. Tie tokens and register. An old man at the foot of the Divine Pulse Tower said. Lu Ming and Yu Linglong took out their ident. 1. Tie tokens and handed them to the old man. The points were all recorded in their ident. 1. Tie tokens. The old man placed their ident. 1. Tie tokens on a disk array. The disk array flashed a few times and returned the ident. 1. Tie tokens to the 2. Go in. Remember, 1 point will be consumed for 1 day of cultivation in the Divine Pulse Tower. When the points in your ident, 1. Tie tokens are used up, the formation of the Divine Pulse Tower will throw you out, but you'll be embark. Said. So, you'd better get out of the Divine Pulse Tower before your points are used up. The old man warned. The two of them nodded and walked into the Divine Pulse Tower. There were secret rooms in the Divine Pulse Tower. All the secret rooms on the first floor were occupied. The two of them went to the second floor. Lo Lu Ming. If you have any questions in the future, you can ask me. Here. With that, Yu Linglong paused, said Lu Ming a voice transmission jade talisman and walked into a secret room. Lu Ming smiled and entered a secret room. The door of the secret room closed automatically. Lu Ming sat cross-legged and started cultivating with the universe Thousand Tao scripture. Ooh! Immediately, the rich divine qi in the surroundings gathered towards Lu Ming. What a dense divine qi! Lu Ming was secretly shocked. The divine qi here was so dense that it was almost tangible. It was many times faster than absorbing divine crystals. It even contained a trace of strange energy. Once it entered Lu Ming's body, it was quickly transformed into Lu Ming's divine power and could even help to temper his divine body. So fast. The cultivation speed here is many times faster than outside. 10,000 divine crystals. It's worth it. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Before, he had been worried about the divine crystals. 10,000 divine crystals could only help him cultivate for a day. But now, he felt that it was worth it. Although it was very expensive, he would definitely be able to break through quickly and break through his cultivation. However, before he focused on cultivation, Lu Ming took out a pile of divine artifact fragments and put them aside for Qiu to eat slowly. As for him, he began to focus on cultivation. In the blink of an eye, 3 months pass, said. Lu Ming's cultivation had skyrocketed and he was already at peak 3rd level virtual G. D level, only a step away from 4th level virtual G. D level. One had to know that it was not easy to break through to the void G. D realm. Many people would need hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of years to do so. He, on the other hand, had only used 3 months to reach the 4th level of the void G. D realm. This was all because of the Divine Pulse Tower. Begin the salt. Lu Ming had an idea and the divine energy in his body quickly circulated. Boom, boom, boom. His body seemed to be rumbling as he started to break through to the 4th level of the void G. D realm. Not long after, his aura skyrocketed, and it was much stronger than before. 4th level void G. D realm, breakthrough. A smile appeared on Lu Ming's face. Now that he had broken through to the 4th level of the void G. D realm, Lu Ming was even more confident in his battle with Dongfang Hao. It's worth it to break through to the 4th level of the Void D realm in 3 months. Lu Ming smiled. Although he didn't need 900,000 divine crystals to break through to the 4th level of the Void D realm, it would take dozens or even hundreds of times longer. In the Divine Pulse Tower, he had broken through in 3 months, which was equivalent to spending a large number of divine crystals to buy time. What Lu Ming lacked the most now was time. It was all worth it. He could earn more divine crystals once his cultivation increased. In less than a year, my cultivation has increased by 2 levels. I need to stop and polish it. I can use the rest of my time to cultivate my divine skills. Although Lu Ming was now more confident in his fight against Dongfang Hao, he could not afford to miss out on the 9-fold golden armor and the 3 apocalyptic strikes if he wanted to be 100% confident. If these 2 divine skills had a breakthrough, he would be more confident. Lu Ming immediately left the Divine Pulse Tower. Senior, may I ask if there's a place to cultivate a divine skill in the inner sect? When he arrived outside the Divine Pulse Tower, Lu Ming asked the elder who was guarding the Divine Pulse Tower. There are some places that ordinary disciples are forbidden from entering. The old man glanced at Lu Ming and said indifferently, Senior, this is my token. Lu Ming took out the gold token again. A gold token? The old man's eyes suddenly widened. He sized Lu Ming up carefully in surprise. He obviously did not expect that Lu Ming, a virtual D-level disciple, would have a gold token. With the gold token, you can go to most of the places in the inner sect area. The best place to cultivate a divine skill is, of course, the Divine Skill Valley. I have a map of the inner sect area here, you can use it. The old man took out a map and said it to Lu Ming. The reason why he was so nice to Lu Ming was naturally because he guessed that Lu Ming was the disciple of some big shot and he wanted to befriend and build a good relationship with Lu Ming. Chapter 2680 Placing a Bet Lease Reading Omicron N Novel Cool. Omicron, many thanks, Senior. Lu Ming took the map and scanned it with his spiritual senses. A map appeared in his mind. It was a map of the entire inner sect area. The addresses, buildings, and cultivation places were all clearly marked on it. This gold token is quite useful. Lu Ming pondered. Although he had been cursed by the Dragon Boat Mountain with the Dark Dragon Blood Curse, at least it was not without any benefits. At the very least, the golden token was still very useful to him. Without the gold token, he would not be able to enter the inner sect area, let alone these cultivation places. It would be difficult for him to make a breakthrough in his cultivation in a short period of time. Following the map, Lu Ming walked towards the Divine Skill Valley. The Divine Skill Valley was the best place to cultivate divine skills in the inner gate area. Of course, it also required points, but it was slightly cheaper, 1 point for 5 days of cultivation. Lu Ming's ident. 1. Tai token still had 70 points. It was enough for him to cultivate for 350 days. Lu Ming entered the Divine Skill Valley and devoted himself to cultivation. Time flew by and it was getting closer to the 1-year agreement between Lu Ming and Dongfang Hao. In the blink of an eye, there were only 3 days left. During this period of time, the outer door was bustling with noise and excitement. Many people were discussing Lu Ming. A year's time might not be a short time for ordinary people and they could forget many things. However, for people at the Martial D realm, a year's time was no different from a breath's time. The life and death battle between Lu Ming and Dongfang Hao was still fresh in their minds. Why hasn't Lu Ming appeared yet? I saw him go out earlier. Did he really slip away? That must be it. I told you that he's just asking for death by agreeing to Dongfang Hao's life and death duel. He's definitely going to run away. I heard that he's the first place in the disciple recruitment assessment this time. I didn't know he had no B. It would be a wonder if you have the guts to know that you're going to die. In the outer sect area, everyone was talking about Lu Ming. They all thought that Lu Ming had slipped away and did not dare to accept the challenge. At this moment, Lu Ming was coming out from the inner gate area. Lu Ming had a smile on his face. He had gained a lot from his cultivation during this period of time. He was very confident in his battle with Dongfang Hao. Soon, he returned to the inner court area. Lu Ming is back. Instantly, this piece of news caused an uproar in the outer gate area. The people who were certain that Lu Ming had slipped away earlier were dumbfounded and speechless. You still dare to come back? You're really looking for death. Simply stupid. Lu Ming's return was a slap to these people's faces. These people flew into a rage out of humiliation. They thought that Lu Ming was so foolish that he came back to court death. In short, the news of Lu Ming's return quickly spread to the outer sect. In the Yellow Martial Palace. Good, it's good that he's back, we can kill him now. Huang Wu laughed. Don't worry. This time, I'll make sure he dies a horrible death. On the side, Dongfang Hao's face was ferocious and his killing intent was cold. Come. Place your bets. If you bet on Dongfang Hao, it's 200 to 1. If you bet on Lu Ming, it's 1 to 50. Near the life and death arena, a burly man had actually started a bet on who would win between Lu Ming and Dongfang Hao. 200 to 1? You're too greedy. This ratio is too low. That's right, I bet $200 and only earned $1. Many people looked down on him. If they bet on Lu Ming winning, they would earn 50 divine crystals for each piece. However, if they bet on Dongfang Hao winning, they would only earn 1 divine crystal for each piece of divine crystal. If you don't place your bet, I'll place mine. Lu Ming is definitely going to lose. Although the ratio of 200 to 1 is a little low, it's a sure win. I'll bet 100,000 divine crystals on Dongfang Hao. An outer sect disciple had placed a bet of 100,000 divine gems. Many people's eyes lit up. That's right, Dongfang Hao was definitely going to win. Even though it wasn't a lot, it was still a profit. I'm also betting on Dongfang Hao. I'm betting 50,000 divine gems. I'll bet 200,000 divine crystals on Dongfang Hao. I also bet. There's no doubt about this battle. Dongfang Hao is definitely going to win. A large group of outer sect disciples placed their bets on Dongfang Hao. The man's face was covered in cold sweat. He also thought that Dongfang Hao would win for sure. Almost everyone had bet on Dongfang Haoxing, so he would lose a lot of money. He had deliberately set the odds on Lu Ming at 150. With such high odds, he initially thought that some people would take the risk and bet on Lu Ming's victory. In that case, he would be able to earn a fortune. Why don't you guys bet on Lu Ming? If you bet on Lu Ming, you'll be betting 1 with 50. The burly man shouted. Do you think I'm stupid? If I bet on Lu Ming, I'll definitely lose. That's right, I'm not giving you money for nothing. Hurry up and write me a receipt. The group of outer sect disciples clamored, and the burly man broke out in cold sweat. It's really lively. Lu Ming had just returned from the inner sect area. When he said by and saw so many people placing their bets, he immediately became interested. Lu Ming is here. Someone called out. Immediately, everyone's eyes turned to Lu Ming. There were those who were pitying him, those who were sighing, and those who were indifferent. Anyway, they looked at Lu Ming as if he was a dead man. In their opinion, Lu Ming would definitely die in 3 days. This bet, how do you place it? What are the odds? Lu Ming's interest was piqued. He walked over and asked. If you bet on Dongfang Haoxing, the odds are 200 to 1. If you bet on Lu Ming, the odds are 1 to 50. Someone answered. Nest, my odds are so high? There should be a lot of people who bet on me winning. Lu Ming looked at the burly man. No one is betting on you winning. The burly man said with a bitter face. What? Lu Ming was depressed. How much did they look down on him? So many people bet on Dongfang Haoxing with a 204-1 payout, but he bet with a 54-1 payout and no one bet on him? Did they all think that he would lose? Everyone, because too many people are betting on Dongfang Haoxing, now the odds will be changed. The odds for those who are betting on Dongfang Haoxing will be changed to 500 to 1. The burly man shouted. What? 500 to 1, why don't you just die? If you bet $500, you'll only earn $1. If you bet $50,000, You'll only earn $100. That's too little. It's not good to be so shameless. Many people questioned loudly, but the middle-aged man's attitude was firm. He was determined to win 500 to 1. This business is not bad. Lu Ming's gaze shifted and he had an idea. He thought of a way to earn money. Everyone, please listen to me. Lu Ming clapped his hands to attract everyone's attention. If he's not the banker, he'll be the banker. Those who want to place a bet, come to me. If you bet on Dongfang Hao, it's 100 for 1. If you bet on Lu Ming, it's a 1 for 1. Lu Ming said loudly. What? If you bet on Dongfang Haoxing, it's 100 to 1. I'm buying 100,000 divine crystals. Immediately, someone placed a bet. Many people's eyes were also burning. The burly man had bet on Dongfang Hao's victory at odds of 500 to 1, but Lu Ming's bet was 100 to 1. It was 5 times higher. Everyone naturally chose Lu Ming. Chapter 2681 Inviting the Elders Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicronim. As for the odds of Lu Ming winning, they ignored it. The odds of Lu Ming winning were 150 at the burly man's bet. No one was willing to bet. Now that Lu Ming's bet was 1:1, who would still bet? Wait, we'll bet on you. If you're killed by Dongfang Hao, who will we go to for the divine crystals? That's right. When you're killed by Dongfang Hao, all your treasures will be his. Who are we going to get them from? Many people shouted. Indeed, when Lu Ming died in battle, they would not be able to get back the divine crystals they had bet with interest. How about this? I'll find an elder of the tribunal council to be my witness and hand over all the divine crystals. If I die in battle, you can go to the elder to collect the divine crystals. Lu Ming said, Find an elder of the tribunal council as a witness? Who do you think you are? You're able to invite an elder of the tribunal council? You don't even need a draft to brag. Many people looked down on him. The enforcement hall's elders were high and mighty. How could Lu Ming, a new outer sect disciple, be able to invite them? We'll know if I can or not after a while. You guys wait for me here, I'll be right back. With that, Lu Ming rose into the air and headed for the law enforcement hall. There was an enforcement hall in both the inner and outer gates. The law enforcement hall was in charge of law enforcement. It had great power and its words were final. Lu Ming really went to invite the elders of the enforcement hall. Can he really invite them? How is that possible? Do you believe that I can invite the sect master just as he can invite the magic elders? Regardless of whether it's true or not, let's just wait for a while. It won't take much time anyway. The crowd discussed and waited. The news of Lu Ming being the banker and placing bets had spread. More outer sect disciples had gathered in this area. It even attracted some outer sect deacons and elders. Soon, a huge palace appeared in front of Lu Ming. This was the outer law enforcement hall. Stop! At the entrance of the law enforcement hall, 2 young men stopped Lu Ming. I would like to see the enforcement palace's elder. Lu Ming said, You're just a 4th level ethereal G.O.D. realm warrior. You want to meet an elder of the tribunal council? What a joke, get lost. A young man waved his hand, his attitude was bad. Lu Ming frowned. He was clear that those who held positions in the tribunal council were not outer sect disciples, but inner sect disciples. They were all at the true G.D. realm or above, otherwise, how could they suppress so many outer sect disciples? It was normal for these people to look down on him. The 2 of you can just go and report. Lu Ming said, neither servile nor overbearing. Report? Who do you think you are? On what basis do you want us to report? It was still the same young man who sneered coldly. The people of the enforcement hall had great power. Most of the outer sect disciples were trembling with fear when they saw them. However, Lu Ming's expression was calm when he saw them. This made them a little unhappy. With this, is it okay? Lu Ming said coldly and took out the gold token. Why is it useless? What? Gold token? The young man was arrogant at first, but when he saw the golden token, he almost bit his tongue and his eyes almost popped out. Now, go and pass the message. Lu Ming said with a sullen face. Yes. I failed to recognize Mount Tai just now. This young master, I hope that a great man like you will not hold a grudge against me and not lower yourself to my level. The young man who berated Lu Ming earlier broke out in a cold sweat. He bowed his head in fear and trepidation. He knew very well that whoever had a golden token was definitely someone with a great background. He couldn't afford to offend them. He wished that he could slap himself. He hated himself for having a cheap mouth just now. He did not know how Lu Ming would deal with him. Go and that's the message. Lu Ming said coldly. Yes, please wait a moment. The young man nodded and bowed, then quickly ran into pass on the message. Not long after, 3 old men in black robes inlaid with gold followed the young man out. These 3 old men were the outer sect enforcement hall's elders. Black robes with gold embellishments were their symbol. Little brother, do you really have a gold token? One of the elders looked at Lu Ming. Not bad. Lu Ming took out the gold token again. It really is a gold token. The 3 old men looked at each other and saw the surprise in each other's eyes. Little brother, why are you looking for us? An elder said with a pleasant expression. As the enforcement hall's elders, they knew much more inside information. They knew very well that only the sect master and a few grand supreme elders had the golden token of the Kongxian sect. Lu Ming was young and his cultivation level was not high, but he actually had a golden token. It was obvious that he had an unusual relationship with the sect master or the grand supreme elders. Naturally, they had to curry favor with him. Seniors, it's like this. Lu Ming told them about his intention to set up a bet and asked them to be the witnesses. So it's this matter. This is a small matter. Well, go with you. That's right, it's a small matter. The few elders were all smiles. The eyelids of the 2 young men guarding the door twitched. They could swear to the heavens that if anyone else dared to come and find the 3 law enforcement elders to witness such a ridiculous thing, they would definitely be slapped to death by them. However, they were not displeased with Lu Ming at all. It was all because of the gold token. Then he'll have to trouble the seniors. Lu Ming cupped his fists. A small matter, just a small matter. A few enforcement hall elders smiled amicably, then flew toward the outer gate area with Lu Ming. More and more people gathered around the life and death battle stage in the outer gate area. And NBSP Huang Wu, Huang Wen, Dongfang Hao, and the others had also arrived. He's here, Lu Ming is here. Suddenly, someone shouted. Everyone looked in the same direction. Then, everyone's eyes couldn't help but widen. Behind Lu Ming were 3 old men in black robes inlaid with gold. They were all too familiar to the outer sect disciples. They were the elders of the law enforcement hall. Nest, are my eyes playing tricks on me? Are those really elders of the tribunal council? And there are 3 of them? I'm F** King Super. Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. I saw it too. My G. D, what's this kid's background? He's actually able to invite an elder of the enforcement palace. The people who were certain that Lu Ming would not be able to invite the enforcement hall's elder felt as if their throats were blocked by a ball of dog fur. Their faces were flushed red. This kid, Huang Wen, Huang Wu, and the rest narrowed their eyes. They could not help but guess that Lu Ming had some kind of background. Then they all shook their heads. They had inquired about Lu Ming's background. He was just an outer sect disciple who had just entered the sect. He was talented, but he did not have any background. No matter what methods he used, he will die in a few days. Dongfang Hao said coldly. He had absolute confidence in himself. Chapter 2682, 200 million G. Oh. D. Crystal's lease reading Omicron N novel cool. Omicronim soon, Lu Ming and the 3 tribunal council elders arrived. Everyone, I've invited the 3 tribunal council elders. You can rest assured now. Lu Ming said loudly. Don't worry, everyone. We can bear witness to this. An elder of the tribunal council spoke and said no more. After all, they were a little embarrassed. Said to witness such a thing. I have a question. Even with the 3 elders of the tribunal council as witnesses, do you have enough divine crystals to compensate us if we win? An outer sect disciple shouted. That's right. If you're trying to trick us, then we've bet for nothing. That's right. How many divine crystals do you have? Many people asked. Indeed, they had their doubts. They were afraid that Lu Ming did not have that many divine crystals with him. I know you don't believe me, so I'll show you. Lu Ming waved his hand and a pile of divine crystals appeared in the air, exuding a strong divine qi fluctuation. Here 5 million divine crystals. According to the odds of 1 to 1, it's enough for you to bet 150 million divine crystals. Lu Ming said loudly. Lu Ming had sold some middle-grade divine artifacts and had 6 million divine crystals left. So many divine crystals. Lu Ming is actually so rich. Many people's eyes lit up. And NBSP. In addition, if you're still worried, you can also N off this middle-quality divine artifact. Zhao Feng said. Lu Ming took out 2 divine weapons. Lu Ming still had 5 middle-grade divine artifacts left. They were all level 3 middle-grade divine artifacts and above. Now, he took out 2 of them, both of which were level 4 middle-grade divine artifacts. Each of them could be sold for 150,000 divine crystals. The 2 swords could be sold for a total of 3 million yuan, and even many outer sect deacons were looking at them with burning eyes. Lu Ming actually has so many divine crystals and treasures on him. He's really willing to take them out. He knows he's about to die, so he's not going to bring it with him. He's just trying to give it away before he dies so that Dongfang Hao won't take advantage of it. Definitely. Many people thought that Lu Ming knew that he was no match for Dongfang Hao and was going to die at his hands. He was not willing to let his wealth fall into Dongfang Hao's hands, so he distributed his wealth in this way to disgust Dongfang Hao. In it. As expected, Dongfang Hao was disgusted and roared in his heart. He did not expect that Lu Ming would have so much wealth on him. In his opinion, as long as he killed Lu Ming, all this wealth would be his. However, Lu Ming actually wanted to distribute this wealth. His heart was bleeding. All right, let's place our bets now. If you bet on Dongfang Hao, 100 for 1. If you bet on me, 100 for 1. Lu Ming shouted. I'll bet 200,000 on Dongfang Hao. I bet 300,000 divine crystals on Dongfang Hao. I'll bet 200,000 divine crystals too. At once, a group of outer sect disciples rushed forward in a frenzy. They were betting on Dongfang Haosheng with almost all their 8 sets. In their opinion, Lu Ming was giving away his wealth. It would be a waste if they did not take it. One by one. Don't worry, I'll write a written pledge for you. Lu Ming took out his brush and ink and wrote down notes one after another. Then, piles of divine crystals were stored in Lu Ming's storage ring. In a short while, Lu Ming had collected 50 million divine crystals. If you buy 100, you'll have to pay 1. If you buy 1,000,000, you'll earn 10,000. It's a waste if you don't buy it. Even some of the outer sect deacons were tempted. Of course, the outer sect elders just smiled. They didn't care about the divine crystals. Big brother, shall we go bet as well? Huang Wu looked at Huang Wen. Lu Ji, go and place a bet for me. 5 million divine crystals. Huang Wen said. With a wave of his hand, a storage ring flew towards one of the young men. He couldn't show up himself, so he called another young man to help. As expected of a genius of the inner sect, he offered 5 million in one go. Lu Ji took it and went to bet on Lu Ming. Lu Ming received more and more divine crystals. Very soon, he had received more than 100 million. At this moment, a few figures appeared beside Lu Ming. They were the outer sect deacons. Lu Zhong. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. One of the outer sect deacons was Lu Zhong. Back then in the forest, he had wanted to kill Lu Ming. Deacons, do you also want to place a bet? Lu Ming said. What's wrong? You don't welcome me? Lu sneered. You're welcome. Of course, you're welcome. How much are you betting? Lu Ming said with a smile. I'll bet 20 million low-grade divine crystals. Lu Zhong took out a storage ring. I'll give you 10 million too. I'll also pay 15 million. A few deacons spoke one after another. These deacons were all from the Tianhong sect. Lu Ming did not stand on ceremony and accepted them one by one. Interesting, shall we play? If I can earn divine crystals, why wouldn't I? At that moment, a group of young men and women flew toward Lu Ming. All of them had a strong aura and were full of confidence. Many outer sect disciples' expressions changed when they saw this, and they revealed looks of respect. A heaven's favorite on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list. These young men and women were all heaven's favorites on the virtual G.O.D. ranking. They were all ranked above Dongfang Hao and were definitely powerful. This time, the battle between Lu Ming and Dongfang Hao had attracted the attention of other virtual G.O.D. rankers. Place your bets. Lu Ming swept a glance at these people. This kid really doesn't know what's good for him. I'll bet 5 million. A purple-robed young man took out a storage ring and said indifferently. He looked at Lu Ming as if he was looking at a dead man. He's just joined the sect, and he's already challenging Dongfang Hao. What a fool. I'll bet 5 million too. Another young man chimed in. These people were all geniuses from the Floating Light faction. They belonged to the same faction as Dongfang Hao. Naturally, they did not like Lu Ming. Lu Ming sneered. He did not reject anything and took all of them. In the end, Lu Ming received a total of 200 million divine crystals. If he lost, he would have to pay 2 million G.O.D. crystals. 200 million. Ha, I'm rich now. I can cultivate in any of the cultivation sanctuaries in the inner sect. Lu Ming was overjoyed. All right, I'll hand over the divine crystals I've received and my own to the elders of the Tribunal Council for safekeeping. If I die in battle, you can go to the elders to collect the divine crystals according to the receipt. Lu Ming handed a few storage rings to the 3 Tribunal Council elders. Then, Lu Ming looked at Dongfang Hao and said, Dongfang Hao, why don't we have a fight today? Since you're so eager to die, I'll naturally fulfill your wish. Let's go. Dongfang Hao said coldly. Then, he rose into the air and landed on the life and death stage. Lu Ming moved and stepped onto the fighting ring as well, standing opposite Dongfang Hao. It's about to start. I wonder how many moves Lu Ming can take from Dongfang Hao. Dongfang Hao is at the peak of virtual G.O.D. and his combat strength far exceeds his peers. I'm afraid Lu Ming won't be able to take 3 moves. I think so too. Let alone 3 moves, even 1 move is profound. Let's just wait to collect divine crystals. Chapter 2683 The Great Battle with Dongfang Hao. Lise reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron. Many people were discussing and looking at the fighting ring, hoping that Lu Ming would be killed in 1 move. Then they could sit down and collect the divine crystals. Boom. On the fighting ring, a terrifying aura burst out from Dongfang Hao's body. The divine power of a peak 9th level virtual G.D. realm expert was fully unleashed, forming a powerful wave of divine power that pressed toward Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming's body was like a rock, not moving at all. You're quite capable. I'd like to see how capable you are to dare to accept my life and death duel invitation. Dongfang Hao said coldly. Then, he took a step forward and charged toward Lu Ming like a bolt of lightning. Buzz. His palm was like a knife, and he slashed at Lu Ming. Although it was a palm, the knife force was extremely sharp, wanting to cut Lu Ming in half. Boom. Lu Ming made his move. His divine power shook Dongfang Hao's wave of divine power away and he threw a punch at it. You actually didn't use a divine artifact to take my attack. You're really looking for death. This attack will split you in half. Dongfang Hao roared in his heart as he struck Lu Ming's fist with his palm. On the fighting ring, there was if fled boom, like the vibration of a heavenly drum. Then, circles of strong chi ripples spread out in all directions, and a level 12 wind seemed to be blowing on the fighting ring. Then, the 2 figures floated back hundreds of meters. What? Many people's pupils suddenly shrank. It was blocked. Lu Ming had actually blocked Dongfang Hao's attack. How is that possible? Lu Ming's cultivation base was only at 4th level Void G.O.D. realm, yet he was able to block Dongfang Hao's attack? This is too terrifying. It can't be. Many people were shocked, especially those who had bet on Dongfang Haoxing. He want. Dongfang Hao has underestimated his enemy. He didn't even use much of his strength just now. Yes, it must be like this. After all, Lu Ming is the #1 new disciple. He's quite powerful. I guess he's used all his strength just now, and Dongfang Hao didn't use much of his strength. That's why he managed to block it. Yes, it must be like this. Many people seem to have found a way to ease their minds. How did this kid break through to the 4th level of the Void G? Oh, D realm. Below the fighting ring, Huang Wu was the most shocked. He had fought with Lu Ming the earliest and was very clear about Lu Ming's previous cultivation. When Lu Ming had just entered the sect, he was only a demi-G. D. However, he was already on 4th level Void G. Oh, D level now. What kind of improvement speed was this? He was almost scared to death. What's wrong? And NBSP seeing Huang Wu's expression, Huang Wen frowned and asked. That kid's cultivation isn't right. It's not right. When he first entered the sect a few years ago, he was only at the demi-G. Oh, D realm. Huang Wu's mouth trembled as he spoke. What? Huang Wen, as well as the others beside him, were all shocked. Their eyes were wide open. Impossible. He was only a demi-G. Oh, D few years ago, and now he's already at the 4th level of the Void G. Oh, D realm. His foundation is also solid. This is impossible, completely impossible. One of the young men immediately shook his head in disbelief. Are you sure? Huang Wen asked with a dark expression. He's indeed a demi-G. D. He was indeed a demi-G. Oh, D few years ago. Huang Wu said, trembling. Impossible. I don't believe it. Perhaps, when you fought him a few years ago, he hid his cultivation. There are many secret skills that can hide cultivation in the primeval universe. That's right, he must have hidden his cultivation. The few young men shook their heads. They did not believe Huang Wu's words at all. They thought that Lu Ming had hidden his cultivation level in the past. What a joke. This was virtual G. Oh, D level they were talking about. It would be extremely difficult to level up. They would never believe that he could level up from demi-G. Oh, D level to 4th level virtual G. Oh, D level in just a few years. Huang Wen shook his head as well. He believed that Lu Ming had hidden his cultivation level back then. Huang Wu's face paled, unable to speak. He was sure that his senses were not wrong. What a monster! I hope he dies in Dongfang Hao's hands. Huang Wu roared in his heart. At this moment, Dongfang Hao was also shocked. Other people thought that he had not used his full strength, but he knew very well that in that move just now, other than the divine weapon and divine skill, he had already used 100% of his divine power. He had planned to kill Lu Ming with one move. He had never expected that Lu Ming's strength would be so shocking that he could block an attack with 100% of his divine power. Kid, you have some skills. Let's see how many moves you can block. Dongfang Hao said coldly. Cut the C. Show me what you've got. Otherwise, you won't have a chance. Lu Ming said indifferently. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Let's go. Dongfang Hao reached out his hand, and a golden saber appeared in his palm. It looked like it was made of gold. Buzz. The battle saber shook, and the saber radiance soared into the sky. This was a level 9 low-grade G. D equipment. Lu Ming had an idea and he took out a level 9 low-grade divine artifact spear. 9 void slashes, die. Dongfang Hao roared. His body and the saber merged, and the saber radiance soared into the sky, slashing at Lu Ming. This was a divine skill. Dongfang Hao's second attack was a real killing move, and it was extremely powerful. Fortunately, the life and death battle stage was covered with a light shield. Otherwise, Dongfang Hao's blade light would have rushed out and all the spectators would have been enveloped by it. A divine skill? Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. This was the first time he had seen someone using a divine skill in a battle. The power of a divine skill was indeed terrifying. It was completely incomparable to an incomplete divine skill. Let's try and see how powerful it is. Lu Ming muttered. The long spear vibrated and hummed. Then he pulled the spear out. Lu Ming did not use the 3 apocalyptic strikes. Instead, he used an incomplete divine skill. Lu Ming had already cultivated the incomplete spear technique to the 7th level, the highest level. Boom! The long spear and the saber gleam collided. 15 levels of power burst out from Lu Ming's long spear in an instant. 15 layers of power, like a stormy sea, surged towards the other. However, Dong Fanghao's blade ray was shockingly powerful. It kept on breaking through the layers of power. A series of explosions rang out as the 2 figures quickly retreated. This time, the 2 of them retreated a few hundred meters before they could stabilize themselves. What? He blocked it again. How is this possible? This is impossible. Many people couldn't believe it. Many people rubbed their eyes, thinking that they were seeing things. However, after rubbing, the scene was still the same, which really made them dumbfounded. Just now, Dong Fanghao had clearly used his ultimate skill. The power was terrifying and he definitely did not hold back on purpose. However, Lu Ming had still managed to block it. The 7th level of the incomplete divine skill. That kid has actually cultivated the incomplete divine skill to the 7th level. What a terrifying comprehension ability! Many people gasped. To be able to cultivate an incomplete divine skill to the 7th level at the 4th level of the Void D realm was definitely shocking. No wonder it was so powerful. This kid is too monstrous. He must be eliminated. Huang Wen's eyes were extremely cold. Chapter 2684 Intestines turning green with regret. Lise reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron, is this all you've got? I'm really disappointed. In the fighting ring, Lu Ming shook his head and looked at Dong Fanghao in disdain. Kid, don't think that you can be arrogant just because you blocked 2 of my moves. I'll kill you with my next move. Dong Fanghao roared, his killing intent as sharp as a blade. He was a 9th tier virtual D-level powerhouse and an expert on the virtual D ranking list. To him, it was a great humiliation that he could not kill Lu Ming, who was a 4th tier virtual D-level powerhouse, even after he used his ultimate skill. Kill, die! Dong Fanghao shouted as he raised his saber with both hands. His divine power burst out, and saber rays appeared above his head. In the end, a total of 9 blade gleams appeared. Each of them exuded a terrifying aura. Dong Fanghao had pushed his delay skill to its limit. Void 9 slashes annihilate D. That Dong Fanghao bellowed. The 9 rays of saber radiance exuded a terrifying aura, carrying the power to destroy and slashed at Lu Ming. Before the saber ray had even reached him, the terrifying saber force had already swept toward Lu Ming, wanting to tear him apart. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. At this moment, Lu Ming circulated the ruler's divine energy to the extreme. At the same time, Lu Ming activated the double combat power of the battle character formula. Lu Ming's body was filled with powerful energy. Once again he shot out with his spear. This time, Lu Ming did not use the divine skill. Instead, he used the incomplete divine skill. Boom, boom, boom. The 9 rays of saber radiance that Dong Fanghao had condensed slashed toward Lu Ming one after another, each more powerful than the last. Every time it slashed down and collided with Lu Ming's long spear, there would be a terrifying explosion. Everyone's hearts were in their throats as they stared unblinkingly at the scene. They wanted to know if Lu Ming would be killed by Dong Fanghao in one strike. I hope Dong Fanghao can kill that kid. Those who had bet on Dong Fanghao's victory kept praying in their hearts, hoping that Lu Ming would die in Dong Fanghao's hands. Unfortunately, they were destined to be disappointed. After 9 loud bangs, Lu Ming stood still, completely unscathed. He did not even have a single wound on him. Dong Fanghao, on the other hand, was panting. Although a 9th level Void D-realm expert could use divine techniques, it consumed a lot of divine power. Dong Fanghao had used up a lot of his divine power just now. What? He's not dead yet? That Lu Ming, why is he not dead yet? Many people were shocked. They couldn't believe that a 4th-level Void G.O.D. realm cultivator could still stand after Dongfang Hao's full-force attack. How was this possible? This brat, why isn't he dead yet? Around the fighting ring, many people, including Lu Zhong and the other deacons of the outer gate, were roaring. Each of them had bet a large number of divine crystals. Lu Zhong, in particular, had bet a total of 20 million divine crystals. He hoped very much that Lu Ming would be killed. What powerful strength! As expected of someone who possesses a gold token. The 3 Enforcement Hall's elders had a look of shock in their eyes as well. Previously, they had guessed that Lu Ming might be the disciple of some big shot in Kongshen sect. Now they felt that it was very possible. Otherwise, how could he be so powerful? They secretly rejoiced. It seemed that they had made the right decision to help Lu Ming this time. Dongfang Hao, is this all you've got? How disappointing. Well then, it's my turn now. Lu Ming said coldly. He took a step forward and charged at Dongfang Hao. His long spear was like a mountain range, pressing down on Dongfang Hao. Dongfang Hao used his remaining divine power to block it, but after the collision he was forced back, his face pale and his body trembling. Just now, he had used all his strength to release the divine skill and it had consumed too much divine power. At this moment, he could no longer block Lu Ming's attack. Kill, die! Lu Ming shouted as he continued to attack with his spear, shrouding Dongfang Hao in layers of spear shadows. Dongfang Hao charged left and right, but it was useless. He was completely suppressed by Lu Ming. Bang! He was caught off guard and was hit by Lu Ming's spear. More than a dozen layers of power burst out and hit Dongfang Hao. He screamed in pain and was sent flying. He spat out a mouthful of blood. A big hole had been blown into his chest, and his breath was weak. Don't kill me, Dongfang Hao yelled in terror. Kill! Lu Ming said coldly. He stepped forward, his killing intent extremely cold. Senior brother Huangwen, save me, save me. Dongfang Hao screamed at the top of his lungs. If this continued, he would really die. He was so scared that he almost peed his pants. Before the battle, he would never have dreamed that it would end up like this. In his mind, he could easily kill Lu Ming and he would not be in any danger. If he had known that Lu Ming was so terrifying, he would never have sent out the life and death duel letter. Lu Ming, that's enough. Huang Wen shouted with a dark expression. That's right. We're all senior and junior brothers. It's enough to determine the victor. There's no need to take his life. Lu Zhong also said. Ha, what a joke. You guys don't know that this is a death match. Dongfang Hao and I have signed a death match agreement. Only one of us can leave the stage. Lu Ming laughed heartily. When it's possible to forgive someone, one should forgive them. Lu Zhong said coldly. I'll spare you, you be **starred. F***ck. Lu Ming cursed. He charged at Dongfang Hao with his spear at the speed of lightning. Dongfang Hao screamed hysterically and tried to dodge, but it was useless. The spear pierced through his head. Dongfang Hao's head exploded like a watermelon. Dongfang Hao was dead. He's dead. Dongfang Hao is dead. Many people's faces turned pale and they broke out in cold sweat. They had bet a lot of their skills on Dongfang Hao's victory. Some of them had even bet their entire net worth. But now Dongfang Hao was dead. My divine crystals! Someone screamed in pain and wanted to beat his chest and stamp his feet. As for those who didn't have time to place their bets, they were extremely glad. They had been secretly angry that they had come a step too late and lost the chance to pick up money. Now they realized how lucky they were. In the midst of the music, there were a few other deacons whose faces were as black as charcoal. How did this happen? Below the fighting ring, Huang Wen, Huang Wu, and the others were all pale. Dongfang Hao is dead? They found it hard to believe. A disciple who had just joined the sect a few years ago had actually killed Dongfang Hao, who was on the virtual G.O.D. ranking. In the fighting ring, Lu Ming shook his spear, shaking off the blood on it. Then he reached out and sucked Dongfang Hao's storage ring into his hand. It was his spoils of war. Elders, I've killed Dongfang Hao. I've won. Those divine crystals are all mine. Lu Ming's gaze shifted to the 3 tribunal council elders. That's right, you've won. These storage rings are for you. One of the enforcement hall's elders suppressed the shock in his heart and threw the storage ring to Lu Ming. Lu Ming caught it with a fiery look in his eyes. Chapter 2685. Want to return it? No way. Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicronim this time, he had earned big. He had won 200 million low-grade divine crystals. If he exchanged them for sect points, he would have a total of 20,000 points. 1 day of cultivation in the Divine Pulse Tower was 1 point. 20,000 points were enough for Lu Ming to cultivate in the Divine Pulse Tower for more than 50 years. Previously, Lu Ming had only cultivated for 3 months in the Divine Pulse Tower, and his cultivation level had risen from 3rd level to 4th level Void D level. The effect was amazing. The higher one's cultivation was, the more difficult it would be to make a breakthrough, and the time required would naturally be much longer. However, if he cultivated in the Divine Pulse Tower for more than 50 years, his cultivation would increase by a large margin. Many people's hearts were bleeding when they saw Lu Ming put away the storage ring. That was their divine crystals. My 10 million divine gems. An outer deacon's face twitched, and his heart was bleeding. Although they were all high-level true DS, tens of millions of low-grade divine crystals was still a considerable amount. It won't be that easy to take my divine crystals. Lu snorted coldly and then sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming. Brat, come to my mansion right away and give me back the 20 million divine crystals. Also, you've insulted me just now, so you must be punished. If you give me another 50 million divine crystals as compensation, you'll let bygones be bygones. This voice rang directly in Lu Ming's ears. A threat, a blatant threat. The corners of Lu Ming's lips curled up slightly. He looked at the music and his voice spread throughout the entire venue. Deacon Lu Zhong, you're already so old. Don't you know that you must accept your loss? With your status as a deacon, you actually threatened me with a voice transmission just now, asking me to return the 20 million divine crystals to you. You also threatened me to pay you another 50 million divine crystals. How can you say something like that? Lu Ming did not try to hide anything. Everyone heard what he said. Everyone's eyes turned to Lu Zhong. Some people revealed looks of disdain. After Lu Zhong lost the divine crystals, he actually threatened Lu Ming in secret. How despicable. And NBSP, he roared in the center of the music, and his anger was about to burn. He did not expect Lu Ming to be so bold as to directly say his threatening words, causing him to lose face. Brat, you are playing with fire. You are seeking death. Lu sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming. Look, here he comes again. He's sending me a voice transmission to threaten me, saying that he's going to kill me. Lu Ming shrieked, then cupped his fists at the 3 law enforcement elders. 3 elders, a deacon has threatened this disciple in public. This disciple is truly in fear and trepidation. Lu Zhong. One of the law enforcement elders looked at Lu Zhong with a cold gaze. Lu Zhong shivered and quickly shouted, Elder, there's no such thing. This kid is framing me. It better not be. The law enforcement elder snorted. Lu Zhong's face turned gloomy and he didn't dare to say anything more. Lu Ming, you're too greedy. Are you really going to swallow all these divine crystals? I bet all my fortune on it just now. Can you return some to me? At this moment, a young man shouted. Not bad, return some to me. Following that, the others also started shouting. Even a few geniuses on the virtual D ranking list chimed in. They'd bet a lot just now and had also suffered heavy losses. Return? What a joke. If you weren't so greedy, how could you have lost to me? Lu Ming sneered. Return? How was that possible? These people had been waiting for him to die. How could he return the divine crystal to them now? Lu Ming, you have to know when to stop. I'm only asking you to return a part of it, not all of it. You've earned a lot by returning 50 to 60%. We're all senior and junior brothers, so it'll be easier for you to get along in the future. Otherwise, you've offended so many people. Even if you get so many divine crystals, I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to spend them. A yellow-robed young man, a heaven's favorite on the virtual G.O.D. ranking from the Tianhong sect, said coldly. Although he didn't make it clear, anyone could hear the threat in his words. He was implying that Lu Ming would offend too many people if he swallowed all the divine crystals. He was afraid that he would not be able to spend the divine crystals even if he earned them. This time, the 3 tribunal council elders did not say anything. They too felt that it would not do Lu Ming any good to offend so many people at once. Even though Lu Ming had an extraordinary background, everyone present was under the various saints sections. If he offended all of them, he would not have a good time in the future. Hee. Lu Ming sneered. These people clearly lost the bet, their hearts ached, and they wanted to take back a part of it, but what kind of logic was this? Alright, if you want a part of it back, that's fine. Lu Ming's voice was heard and many people's eyes lit up. All outer sect disciples, I'll give you a chance. Go up the stage and fight me. Whoever defeats me, I'll return the divine crystals, but whoever is defeated by me, you have to leave behind something. Lu Ming continued. What? Most of the outer sect disciples immediately hung their heads in dejection. To defeat Lu Ming? You must be joking. Did they not see that even Dongfang Hao, who was on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list, had been killed by Lu Ming? How could they be his match? Wouldn't he be looking for a beating if he went up? However, some people's eyes lit up. They were the heaven's favorites on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list. This battle is only about victory or defeat, not about life or death. Whoever wins, I'll return double the divine crystals. If you lose, you'll have to leave behind a treasure. For example, a king-grade divine skill, a level 3 divine skill, a mid-grade divine artifact, or the corresponding divine crystals. Anything is fine. Lu Ming spoke again. You said it yourself. The yellow-robed young man shouted. With so many people as witnesses, I will keep my word. Lu Ming said. Alright, I'll challenge you now. The yellow-robed young man moved and rushed into the fighting ring. Huang Chengan is about to make his move. Many people's eyes lit up. Huang Chengan was ranked 98th on the virtual G.O.D. ranking list, which was more than 20 places higher than Dongfang Hao. His battle strength was also much stronger than Dongfang Hao's. What kind of treasure are you using to fight me? Lu Ming said. A king-grade cultivation technique. Huang Chengan waved his hand and a yellow scroll appeared in his hand. A king-grade cultivation technique. Lu Ming's eyes suddenly lit up. He cultivated the heaven and earth thousand Tao scripture. As long as he cultivated other divine techniques and cultivated a wisp of corresponding divine power, he would be able to light the corresponding divine fire. In the future, as long as he continued to cultivate the heaven and earth thousand Tao scripture, his divine power would also improve. Lu Ming had wanted to cultivate it for a long time, but he did not have any other amazing techniques. Originally, he had wanted to go to the inner sect's scripture depository to exchange for the money he had earned this time. Alright, where's your receipt? Let me see how many divine crystals you've bet. Lu Ming said. Then, Huang Chengan took out a written pledge of 5 million divine gems. To an ethereal G.O.D. realm expert, 5 million divine gems was a terrifying number. No wonder Huang Chengan was so anxious. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.